Yeah, Saturday's here, and that means FPF TV's back. Woohoo! What an intro. Hello and welcome to FPF TV. Of course, we are covering the big original rivalry clash between Adelaide United and Melbourne Victory at a sold-out Cooper Stadium. It's sure to be an exciting matchup. But first, I'll introduce my co-host, who's putting on his best Fred Durst impression with the backwards cap here. He's just minusing the sunglasses. He's he's throwing up the deuce. It's Matt Olsen. How you going, mate?
Yeah, look, having a fantastic time, living my best life as this alter ego of mine. And you're right, the sunnies. I actually lost my pair of sunnies, the blue ones that became iconic with FPF. I lost them at the tennis.
No,
So,
that sucks.
so we're gonna have to get a new pair, which is yeah.
Well, if there's any sponsors out there that do have access to sunglasses, Matt Olsen is willing to all offers. So I'll put down his socials maybe in the comments. You can just hit him up through DMs. You know,
Please.
he's well and truly. But before we start attracting new money into the FBF TV headquarters, let's get to the lineups for tonight's match. So let's go through the home side. So in goals is Cox with Pires. Whoa, that was a bad pronunciation. Oh my god, Bart Vrens, Kikianis, Kito in the back line, Alagic and Barnett holding down in the centre of midfield with Falami, Mork and Clough further ahead, and Archie Goodwin rounds out the attacking, striking option there. For Melbourne Victory, the travelling side, Jack Duncan retaining his spot as Mitch Langerak is first edition on the bench for his first, I think that's his first involvement in Melbourne Victory lineup since joining back from Nagoya Grampus. Casey Boss starting at left back with Miranda and Hamill in the centre defensive positions and Josh Rawlins in the right back position. Teague and Valadon hold down the midfield with Daniel Arzani, Zinedine Machach and Rodriguez making a start for Melbourne Victory further ahead, and Bruno Fornaroli is the front forward nine. What do you think of these lineups, Matt, and what are you expecting from both teams?
As the MC at Glory used to say, Joshua Rawlins. So I'm excited to see Rawlins get on the action for victory.
Rawlins?
Ryan Teague. It is Rawlins. That guy was just a little bit, yeah.
Was
Don't
that
know.
just one of those memes that are just a bit too intellectual for the likes of me?
Oh no! It's literally like an inside, not even an inside joke. It's just something that the MC at Glory, he just used to say Rawlins instead of Rawlins for whatever reason. But it's always a pleasure watching Josh. I think his development into being a regular A-League starter, playing for youth national teams, and of course, his move to Utrecht that sadly didn't work out. I think he's someone that I've always had a pretty keen eye on. Happy to see him as a fellow Western Australian going well in professional football. Ryan Teague, someone that I'm always really excited by, hoping that they can find a bit more stability and leadership in someone like that. Of course, Casey Boss, always pretty dependable. Roger Miranda. Machash has, I feel like, been a bit off and on, and I think the same can definitely be said for the striking situation that they've had all season, regardless of who's been in management. I think it's been a real revolving situation, and tonight is always a night that's made for someone like Bruno, so you really want to see that. And of course, Arzani adds that extra X factor as well. Again, on victory,
Adelaide's interesting as well. They've gone with Ethan Cox over Jason Delianov, which for a big game like this, that's an awful lot of pressure to put on a young up and coming keeper. But I think that Antonis Pagonis would be attuned to this, and also Christian Marchetti. His performances in the South Australian NPL competition have been more than impressive.
I mean, it's hard for us, geographically where we are to really talk in depth about any of these guys, and especially given the reputation of pro-based football as a platform in the state of South Australia. I think staying tight-lipped is the best.
It's probably the best for us. We're not gonna, I don't want Seb O'Neill coming into my DMs with some angry emojis there.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he's not going to be joining us tonight, which I'm just absolutely gutted about. No more Seb O'Neill TV for this week. It's absolute travesty, and we mourn the absence of Seb O'Neill for 1 week, but hopefully he's back for the next game. I just wanted to look at some like key stats here. Archie Goodwin. So this is off FotMob, which I'm getting the stack. Expected goals, right? 5.03 is his expected goals, and he has scored 5 goals this season. That's fairly impressive when you consider, like usually when you're scoring about 5 goals, your expected goals probably statistically would be around about 6 or 7. Like you miss a few key chances, but Goodwin has been absolutely clinical up front for Adelaide United so far, hasn't he?
I think that the development and rise of someone like Archie Goodman is the reason we watch the A-League and the reason, we take such a big pride in it. I think, if he can kick on to that other level, he's got Ollie Roos caps in his future. I mean, I don't know the exact age that he's at. I want to say 21, 22. So, I mean, there's potential for a bit of a bolter there. And, if he's good enough to kind of at least catch the attention of whoever his agent's network is overseas. I mean, you never really know what can come from something like that. And I mean, we've seen a lot of great players over the years really kind of make their stride eventually. And for Archie Goodwin to have found the right environment here in Adelaide is really crucial for his career. I mean, I know everyone in Newcastle still loves him to bits, and rightfully so. He's an incredibly talented footballer. But to have really found that stride in an Adelaide team that people didn't expect much of. And again, for them to be where they are in line with sort of Western and City, who we thought were on the decline. I mean, been such a fascinating league season, and one that, yeah, for sure. I'm really looking forward to always seeing what this particular partnership can bring from a league-wide perspective.
Well, absolutely. And speaking of the league, we might as well go through the results that have currently come in this round 15 of A-League men's action. Western United, of course, did away with the Newcastle Jets yesterday afternoon, 3-1 at Ironbark Stadium. Also, the Central Coast managed to get an away win against Western Sydney Wanderers 3-1 with the crucial performance from their frontman, Ali Kuol. Auckland FC, fairly clinical against Melbourne City at home in Auckland this afternoon. A 3-0 win there with an absolute stunner by Glumo Mai to open up the account for Auckland in that one. And a pretty drunk game of football, which we just witnessed just about 20 minutes ago. 4-3, Brisbane Roar getting their first win of the season away from home in Sydney. Fairly surprising, but almost towards the end gave it up. Capitulated, which would be probably the second team in a couple of weeks that have capitulated against Sydney FC, Newcastle being one of them a few weeks ago. So a very interesting round of football so far in round 15. Speaking of interesting football, Matt, you've been covering the Australian women's futsal team recently. How's that been going?
Yeah, so they've been playing their sort of inaugural tournament. They played their first game ever against the likes of Turkmenistan and Kuwait, which was a resounding success against teams that, especially in women's football, I don't think we expect a lot from. So they racked up 9 goals between the two games, 4-1 and 5-0 wins. They then moved on to Uzbekistan, who they've beat very successfully overnight. And then I've kind of gone into the camp awaiting this big fixture with the Philippines. Now, the reason why it's important is Australia and the Philippines are likely to be the next teams to sort of go through to the Asian Cup. It's important for one or two reasons. One, the Philippines are hosting the World Cup. So for the girls to be able to get that victory and have that statement of intent, that's okay, we just beat the World Cup host. Like, that is a sign that we can really make a damaging run. And the other reason you want to clearly finish on top is that seeding as well. If they can get themselves a 3rd or 4th seed behind Japan and Iran, they'll be laughing. We'll be booking that ticket to the World Cup in Manila, I would think, pretty easily. But spoke with Mariana Tabane this morning, and she's basically said that we're quietly very confident, and also just very thankful to FIFA. I know, being thankful of FIFA, thinking of FIFA as a nice organisation, they do some good things sometimes, and the ratification of women's futsal as a program that can actually provide that opportunity, huge, because there are thousands of girls that play the five-a-side version of the game that have been left out in the dark, wondering, all of this hard work, what is it actually for without that representation? And FIFA have done the right thing. They've stepped in, ratified a program, and it's all going to take place within the next 12 months. So the first set of qualifying games in January, we then move on to the Asian Cup in May, and then the World Cup in Manila. So within the same region, it will be in November and December. So an early Christmas present, hopefully, if the futsal Tildas go on to have a successful World Cup.
And for the likes of you, obviously very exciting for being such a proponent of women's football. switching over to that as well, there's been some crucial A-League women's matches
Hmm.
over the last couple of days. You want to just run through a quick summary of what we've been able to see?
Yeah, so Canberra have kind of re-established their form, with, I think, some crucial wins, but none more so than, they've taken the scalp of Brisbane Roar, who have been, I think, probably the most exciting team to watch in the league early on in the piece, and have come back to their own, taking a win against the Wanderers today, and I think firmly kind of re-establishing their place back in the top six, making it a bit of a closed shop for some teams that have their aspirations in kind of positions, 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then we've got the two Sydney teams at the bottom of that pile who, yeah, they're really struggling. Western United under Cat Smith also took points off Melbourne City, so that's a really crucial step for Western to be able to kind of prove that they've still kind of got it. But I'm just having to actually double check. They are in fact part of that little gaggle underneath, in eighth. And actually, it seems as though the Phoenix have dropped points as well. So the Mariners and Western, they all get a chance to kind of get back into things. But Canberra really having a buffer was important, and that was probably one of the more pertinent things to come out of this the sort of round. But I think the last couple of weeks as a whole.
Absolutely, and all that A-League women's action, of course, still going on at the moment. I think the Melbourne Victory and Perth Glory match still at 1-0. I think red card was given to Perth Glory earlier in that match. TJ McKenna being sent off for Perth. I don't have all the results in front of me, but I know that the Newcastle Jets had a good performance against the Western Sydney Wanderers as well, securing a win there. So some awesome action. Speaking of action, the kickoff has just gotten underway for the original rivalry. About 30 seconds in here, and Adelaide have won an early corner.
Yes, Falami looks like he's got a bit of fire in the belly. He was very pent up for that as he was striding across. Zach Clough to take the corner kick. I don't know who's ahead on stream between the two of us, Jack, but
I think we might be right on. I'm on about 48 seconds right now, so hopefully
I'm on about 53. So yeah, I'm ahead by a few.
As is usually the case when it comes to me hosting these streams. But it leads to some pretty awesome clips as the corner was just swung in and Victory managing to get rid of it only briefly as the Reds continue to hold possession there. This is going to be an interesting one. I think if I'm going to go my early predictions, I think that Adelaide United, I remember Christian Marchetti repeatedly calling them a bit unserious in terms of their form and their results. I think that we can start taking them seriously now. I think that their performances, whilst they haven't been the most defensively secure side in the competition, that's well and truly Auckland FC, but they're attacking like power, like with the likes of Falami, Archie Goodwin. You've also got Zach Clough and Stephen Mork, who's having a bit of a renaissance of his career at Adelaide United since returning from Japan. I mean, when you've got four players of that quality also just being, in really good form, scoring goals, assisting goals, getting into really good attacking areas, they're going to be so difficult. I think it's going to be something like 2 or 3-0. I can see them holding out Melbourne Victory, even though they do have attacking talent themselves.
Something, because we're watching Auckland, get past City this morning. I think one thing that's really kind of struck me is the fact that, I think we can all kind of see that Auckland are probably one of a main protagonist for the finals and for a potential championship. But I think it's also a year where a team can really come out the gates and win this from, fourth, fifth. It's shaping up like that kind of year because who actually looks above and beyond the strongest? I mean, Auckland have had their strengths, but they've had their downfalls as well. Their trip to Perth, they were coming off the bye. They were actually really well acquainted to make that seriously really long trip, and it's failed miserably for them. So I just think that everyone's kind of open to, a bit of that natural excitement we get from being a captain and closed league and just seeing a contest like this and seeing how big it is, Victory trying to find their way back into the top six, asking some big questions. Adelaide looking to really establish their dominance and really show they're up there with Auckland as well, I think. But, in saying that, Western have come really seriously good.
And that's
You know,
off the back of like just some an awesome strike partnership, which is something that I think it's not an unusual partnership given the way they play the game, but I don't think we ever saw Ibasuki and Noah Bodic being the prime striking options in the A-League.
no, exactly.
I know that there's people with more goals, the likes of Nicholas Marnovic, Goodwin, but in terms of a strike
Great save from
partnership,
Jack Duncan.
I don't think. Oh, and a chance Jack Duncan able to.
Yeah, no, it was a really good save. But Arzani's really physically getting involved as well. The shot that he had that was blocked in the kind of lead up to that, he's just
dribbling past now and getting to
yeah. Oh, the long range shot there off. But no, I think more to your point, Jack, and I didn't mean to interrupt there.
No, it's okay.
We
There is
are
a game
naturally
going
watching
on
the
at
game.
the moment.
Yeah, look, I think the biggest thing for me is just that takeaway of the top four. When we looked at preseason, Western looked like their recruitment and the young talent that they were relying on wasn't going to be enough to kind of push them into top areas. And this is their stability in the way they've stuck through John Aloisi as a coach and the way he's been able to build his team constantly with people that are around him who really love and respect everything that he's all about. He's John Aloisi, for goodness sake. You can't not want to play for the guy. And off the back of that reputation and the all-round aura that team has, how can you just not love Western United and what they're building with a uniquely younger team? And then, Melbourne City into the mix. They've come off the back of a pretty serious decline, and no one could have possibly thought Vidmar was actually going to get his own sort of reign in on the team and get them cooking in a way that, we didn't really think they were capable of. So when you really put a lot of teams like that in the mix, on top of Adelaide, who, again, I don't think a lot of people, and certainly the South Australian audience, didn't see going so well under Carl Veart again, it just reminds us time and time again why we love the A-League, because as we're out of that post-Christmas era where we can think about who's going to make it, who are the contenders. The contenders are an exciting gaggle of teams we just didn't think would be in this position, and that's where it just feels incredible.
And Shannon via Facebook, given the young players coming through the A-League, has given a huge pull that's behind young Ethan Cox for Adelaide. Pin this message and come back to me in 5 years. If he's not a Socceroo or has been caught up, I give you legal permission to punch me in the nuts. This is a legally binding contract. Well, look, I mean, it's now live on FPF TV, and we all know that everything you say on this live stream is legally binding. So, Shah, I'll keep that in mind. Hopefully, I remember in 5 years' time, but it might be due because I know that. I think
Gauchi is going to have a right to be the next number one for Australia for a very long time. He deserves a Matthew Ryan type rise. He deserves that longevity. He deserves to make the spot his own.
I think that sticking with Joe Gauchi, like you said, is the best course. I think that uniquely Joe Gauchi is filling a gap of sort of this, young enough, not too young, like goalkeeper. If that makes sense, because the other options, Paul Izzo isn't young anymore. Obviously, we've just gone through Matt Ryan, who's on the tail end of his career now. You've got the likes of Vukovic, who's retired recently. Redmayne, who's not going to get selected and probably is due a retirement. He's not even getting games for Sydney FC. So there's actually sort of this huge gap in age ranges, and Joe Gauchi fits what you sort of need in the Socceroos build up at the moment. Not saying that if Ethan Cox can get a significant amount of games, a decent enough move and really put himself in the shop window, he can't depose Joe Gauchi. I don't think it's impossible, but here's Falami crossing in.
Yeah, I thought there was going to be someone central there, but the ball was cleared away. And Melbourne Victory have had a similar effort where there's a lot of good movement, but they're really defensively really quite dogged. And
here's Victory as they get away on the counter-attack.
Yeah, good save.
Yeah,
Ethan
really
Cox, there he is.
Ethan Cox making Shanen's point, I think, in that sequence at least. Shanen also via Facebook says, Joe Gauchi is a poor man's Nicholas Balakovic.
Yeah, that's the guy that plays, I think he plays for Huddersfield.
Well, he did play for Huddersfield last time I checked. I mean, look, I haven't checked in with him recently.
No. What about Ashley Maynard Brewer? If Sean's still watching there, Ashley Maynard Brewer.
I mean,
I want
he's
your
getting
thoughts.
Significant game time for Charlton Athletic in the Football League in England, but he really needs to start playing at a higher level if he wants to break into the Socceroos team. Because
it once the kind of Ollie Sale, and if Cameron Cook gets that move elsewhere, naturally being a West Aussie, he's got the number one spot at Glory should be his. Mind you, with Sale's contract and what they're paying Sale, I can understand why he wouldn't go there.
Yeah, I think that going with all due respect, Matt, I think going from Charlton Athletic in the Football League to Perth Glory in their current state might be
burst for stability, though. I mean, those guys, that kind of move has been made before. I'll be brutally honest with you. A lot of guys have kind of done that to salvage their careers. I mean, Langrak could have been stuck around in England for a long time, not really doing much. Max Crocombe did it when he came back to Brisbane, and he's gone and forged a career for himself. I mean,
but I think the key difference.
Steph Catley's partner, his name isn't coming to me. Bazanis. He's made it for Sutton United, but he had to come back to the A-League for a long time.
And a chance there. Another one. Falami getting in some really decent areas against his old side so far.
Yeah.
In this one, he just can't quite.
I think defensively the structure's been a bit too refined. There's no one really there to finish off a lot of those chances that have been put away, and I think Victory have had the more direct chances, let's say, as proven on the stat count. But yeah, I think the issue with a game like this is obviously just the longevity of trying to push away an attacking threat like that. If both teams have it in them to kind of stick it out, then we could be seeing some scenes with a late winner. Always a passionate game between Victoria and South Australia as well. So yeah, the game's really tempered on. First 10 minutes have had a lot of that high energy and just wanting to see more of it.
Yeah, absolutely. And Charnan via Facebook again, also throwing in the likes of Jacob Chapman, who's getting regular game time in a League One level. I think it's an interesting conversation because I think Australia, just historically, have always been stacked with really talented goalkeepers. I think it's probably down to all the different ball sports we play here. A lot of, if in the Eastern Seaboard, often your soccer players in the summer might be playing Oztag or touch footy, and then vice versa in your Southern and Western states, with the AFL as well. So we've always been blessed with fairly talented goalkeepers as a nation. So, I mean, it's probably really hard to pinpoint a natural successor for Matt Ryan. But I think first in line at the moment is Joe Gaucho. I think that's where we'll finish that discussion up about goalkeepers.
This is also interesting, though, because, I mean, Mitch Langrak, who they've just shown on the bench there and are probably having a chat on commentary. I don't have the commentary in my ears, sadly, so I don't know exactly what's been said. But Langrak is actually like the perfect example of the guy who was like right place, wrong, super wrong time. Because his rise coinciding with that of Matt Ryan meant that he never, the Socceroos jersey was never really his. And ultimately, he stepped away from the game and stepped away from international duty, just to be clear on that, while excelling in the J-League just because Matt Ryan had his number, literally, an entire decade.
I think that there's another name I'm going to chuck in there as well. In this conversation, I think that Matt Ryan has had the benefit of being for around about 8 years in maybe not top 5 European leagues, but certainly very decent European leagues, playing week in, week out. Unfortunately, and I'm going to mention another name in this conversation, another one is Brad Jones. Brad Jones and Mitch Langrak were both at fairly decent clubs, of course. Mitch Langrak, the backup at Borussia Dortmund for a very long time behind Weidenfeller, which, if you're looking at, peak Bundesliga, Weidenfeller, that FIFA 14 card was scary. But he was also a very talented goalkeeper. And then, of course, Brad Jones was behind the likes of your Pepe Reinas, your Simon Mignolet's, and
he started for Liverpool in the famous MCG game against Victory that got 100,000 people too.
Absolutely, yes, he did. He started there. I think also Brad Smith was at the Liverpool Academy and made an appearance there as well.
Talk about Socceroos that have had very, very interesting careers.
Brad Smith is one of them.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, and the fact that he fell out of favour, and he's just never really been in the conversation since. It's sad how some of these guys can go.
Again, it's like you can have the perfect run like Brad Smith, so many years at Liverpool, was getting appearances as a third change right back in those cup competitions. Got to move to Bournemouth, right? And it looked like, yep, this is where he's going to kick on with his career. At a mildly decent English club, get maybe 100, 150 appearances between the top two leagues of the Premier League and the Championship, and then I think he then copped a really long-term injury, which then sent him on to the MLS. Which, to be fair to him, he's had some really good years in the MLS, and I think that he's been, considering the right backs, and maybe the lack thereof of right backs the Socceroos currently have at their disposal, I think is fair to say. He's sort of gotten I think, an off rub, I think, when it comes to Socceroos appearances.
I'd be really curious, because I know from speaking with the FA while Popper was in Perth the other night, that he's like been on an insane scouting mission for round 7 through 10. Like insane. He has been all over the shop, and he's really keeping those networks open. And we had the whole thing with Luongo and that, and him talking about like the jersey should be an honor no matter what, and there's no choice in the matter, regardless of the personal circumstances and things that people have going on. So the fact that he's just building a lot of that cognizant awareness of not only the meaning and the pride in the jersey, but I think also just actually like saying to people that, I'm going to be around your sphere of influence. You come and get it because you deserve it, kind of thing. And I just, that's a real massive compliment of the depth and the breadth of our Socceroos pool at the moment.
And it'll be beneficial to both, veterans that have recently come into good form, and also young players who are looking to maybe make their first appearance, or first 9-10 appearances, especially with a huge 2025 coinciding with the World Cup kicking off in only just over a year away, 18 months. It's that soon. In
the World Cup cycles go by so fast.
You think 4 years can't possibly go that fast, but I just signed up to the Green and Gold Army mailing list for the 2026 World Cup packages, so it's already here, folks.
Sponsoring products is at the Adelaide. Oh, that's Valtteri Bottas. Yeah, look, he's just come from WA. I didn't know we were going to be talking about this today, but obviously, Jack, the Australasian Cycling Championship that was held in Western Australia, where Bottas, of course, was a guest of honour. I've just got to give this a quick wrap, if you don't mind, because Luke Durbridge is comfortably in his mid-30s. And again, if you're not a cycling person, the scale of what happened in Perth that afternoon probably completely lost on you. But just to give you some context, Luke Durbridge, Turbo Durbo is his name within the community. This is a veteran that's been around, been riding the Tour de France since the early to mid-2010s, and he hadn't won the national championship since 2013. And first time ever it's in WA, right? His home city. He's probably told himself, I'm never going to be national champion again. And he just goes for it. He just guns from the start in the break. Oh, victory! They've scored!
A chance! Oh! A goal for Melbourne victory.
Teague. And I'll tell you what, in the same week that we've been talking so much about his fellow compatriots from the Joeys 2019 World Cup run, with what Noah Bosch has been doing, I think it's very, very poignant that his captain, Ryan Teague, is the one to step up and deliver. Victory have had the more direct chances. They've been the better side. They've brought that energy under the caretaker manager. This is exactly what it's all about. Look at the run.
Oh, that's
the
brilliant.
Timing of that. That's exactly how you exploit a resolute defense.
You got to tip your hat to Bruno Fornaroli there. Like, perfect striking hold-up
play.
Got on the pivot. Delicious ball. Look at that. Delectable ball.
Oh, delicious.
I cooked a medium rare steak tonight, and I don't think it was nearly as tasty as that ball from Bruno Fornaroli.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. Right. And it's 1-0. Melbourne victory ahead in the regional rivalry. Sorry to interrupt Matt Olsen's cycling spiel. I want to ask a question, Matt. I know we just had a goal in this game, so we have to get back to the football. But you strike me as the guy as if SBS were playing the World Championships or Lawn Bowls, you'd be watching it, regardless of you. Like, you don't watch reruns of Friends ever. You're just like you're straight. Like, if if there's like, the Asian Championships of darts, like you're watching that and you're
Right.
paying keen attention. So
Right.
I've gotta celebrate your sporting knowledge, because there's no way I would have been able to pick out who the hell that was they were showing on there on the telecast there.
Oh no, so that's Valtteri Bottas, the F1 driver. He
Yeah.
was has been living in Australia for the better part of a few years now in South Australia, because his partner Tiffany Cromwell is a South Australian cyclist, which is why he was the ambassador for the cycling event that was in Perth.
Oh right, there we go, full
yeah.
circle. What a story. I think personally, and I'm just get some cheap heat. Hopefully the people watching, maybe we'll get some angry comments back, because it's been a little bit dry. But I think F1 and most motorsport for me is like just boring. I just can't get into it.
F1's a pretty popular game at the moment.
Yeah,
it is a very popular
I know
game.
it's popular. I mean, that's popular. The music of Chappell Roan is popular. Like, it doesn't mean I have to like it. You know?
Yeah. You might be on with a good shout there. They've really got to stop overplaying the Chappell Roan on radio
stations.
Hey
guys via YouTube. So just quick shout out to Nui Jets.
Who's that? Sorry.
Nui Jets football.
Oh yeah, of course.
So thanks for joining us here. But another chance going the way of Melbourne victory. They are very much on top. Adelaide United are going to have to do some work to work back into this match now.
It's Nathan Cox has just had a shocker,
wow.
Clearing that one out. No, it's an interesting game now, because you would have thought Adelaide were the ones that needed to be on the front foot, and not to say that they haven't been bringing that really high intensity, high energy play that Victory have brought, but it just seems to me that breakthrough that was needed, they really got cut through with that excellent move on the part of Bruno Fortaroli, and to be finished by Ryan Teague. Yeah, just a really, really good standard. And again, the threat from Marzani coming through as well. He's
just cutting in here, and he might work a shot, puts it wide.
This is so crucial for Melbourne Victory in these areas.
And it's crucial for their season as well, as they have dropped out of the top 6. To knock off a team like Adelaide United at home will give them a world of confidence, considering the injury losses. Obviously, the loss of Jason Guerrier to Japan, and also Adama Traore looks like he's going to be out for a few weeks as well.
Yep.
So with Rawlins, who's still quite young, and Boss, who's certainly one of the young starts.
Ethan Cox! Huge!
That is a great save by Ethan Cox.
Huge.
So we had to start speaking right there, but that is a huge save. They just pointed the camera over to Jason Delianov, and maybe that was Paramount Plus's way of saying, get ready to learn NPL, bro. I'm just kidding.
That's James Delianov. You've said his name wrong second time, so I'm going to cut in. You've said Jason twice, but I honestly...
I called Ryan Teague last week Jaden Teague. I don't know how I messed that up.
I would have, maybe gone with a Geordie Valadon type line of, but I don't know where Jaden comes from. That's The corner cleared away. I really need some ambience with this commentary, so I'm going to try and turn it on.
You're getting some ambience. Oh, Joe K Football via YouTube. Hey lads, can Jack give us a rendition of Zack Ryder's WWE theme song? Oh, radio, tell me everything you know. Woo, woo, woo. Alright, there you go, Joe. You can take that home with you.
What the fuck was that at the end? I'm not...
That's the woo, 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 woo. He goes woo, 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 and he puts up like the W and stuff, and he does these ones.
Did you see the WWE when it was at Opera Stadium?
No, I didn't go to Perth to that, unfortunately.
No.
That was way too far away. I've always wanted to go. I actually, whilst I was in Newcastle, funny tangent, as Melbourne Victory have another chance here.
The ball through there, I think it was very, very neatly picked out. And now Adelaide are on the counter.
And here's a chance here. Adelaide United, Archie Goodwin. He's got not a lot of support. He's going to have to do it himself. They're arriving.
Mork.
Can they turn? Mork turns back to Archie Goodwin.
Play here. It's really been sifted away. Falami's on the ball now, though.
And wow, that attack sort of petered out. I really wish I really wish that maybe Archie Goodwin just took the shot on earlier, just backed himself and had a hit there, but he might be ruining that chance.
They're still. I'll tell you what, they're still going.
And they've still got possession here. trying to break down this Melbourne
It's
Victory defense.
been pressed out. Yeah, I mean, look, that's a frustrating one.
Anyway,
They had
I was gonna go on a Tui tangent.
yeah.
I really wanted to, and I didn't get
They're
a chance.
still in, Jack. They're
Still in. God damn it!
Oh.
Adelaide United. There's a chance. Blocked away by Melbourne Victory. You brought up professional
Anyway.
wrestling, and I was just like, yes,
Yeah,
finally.
no, pro wrestling, bring it on.
Yeah, I really wanted to check out Newcastle Pro Wrestling. They performed down at the City Hall of Newcastle. I'm a really big fan of the Dropouts. They're a tag team duo at Newcastle Pro Wrestling. They've also competed in Pro Wrestling Australia, the PWA, and they've also been tapped up for a few big indie international shows recently. So they're my favourite. Their Instagram content, their TikTok content, funny as hell. Funny as all hell. So shout out to the Dropouts, who I'm sure are watching this A-League broadcast right now, I think. Yeah, definitely. They seem like the guys that'll do that.
Yeah, nice. Are they like Jets or Knights fans at all?
Cannot confirm. Haven't had an actual conversation with them, but you know, I'm sure.
I just thought you might have seen something on their socials.
I'm sure they're Newcastle through and through. Very proud Novocastrians. Very funny guys. So yeah.
Well, the players are going in for a water break, and I think now's the good time to kind of get onto this long conversation.
Yeah.
Where does the term Novocastrian actually come from?
That is a very interesting question. Moving on. I don't know.
Okay, so Jack doesn't know, but to be fair...
Wait, Matt,
like
did you just ask a question so you could answer it?
No.
You sure?
Oh, I don't know. And they're showing Bottas on the Bottas on the coverage again.
F1 championship driver, you'll never sing that.
No, Valtteri's not actually in the championship in 2025. He's gone to be the reserve for Mercedes. Which is why he's spending so much time in Australia, being at football games and
well, he ain't
being a.
Well, he ain't at the tennis, right? And he's
No,
not at the AFL.
That is a good fucking point.
He's not at the AFL. He's not at the tennis. So he must think that A-League is the best league in the world, which of course it is. That was just a funny voice for the viewers. Yeah. So.
That's fucked.
Okay.
Sorry, I got distracted. I got distracted looking at something on my phone, and then I kind of said my reaction out loud. Mindful of the fact that I'm on a live stream.
Yeah. We are certainly live. I mean, I broke into song midway through the live stream, so it could be could be a little bit distracting there that I did my best Zack Ryder impression.
Who was the guy that used to go? I know the answer to this, by the way, but who was the? I don't know his surname. Was it Bryant or Brian? The guy that used to go, no.
That was Daniel Bryan, but his actual
Daniel
name is
Bryant with a T.
When he performs in the indie circuit, they had to change his name. That was back when WWE, like, if you were an indie wrestler, like, they had to do your whole image. Like, they didn't want anything to do with indie wrestling. Now, with NXT coming through, now they're a little bit more open to indie stars coming over, using their own name and likeness to generate some money.
I assume on the topic of I want to say still Fulham owner Tony Khan and his wrestling. My understanding is that WWE fans dislike him vehemently.
I think they mostly dislike him for taking the show on the road to Saudi Arabia. I think that's the main thing.
Well, isn't WWE?
Oh, and it's a chance for Adelaide United back live here, and Jack Duncan able to come out and claim that safely for Melbourne Victory. Ben Falami getting a lot of space. That right-hand side, Rawlins maybe not quite up to the match fitness that Jason Gary is up to, and they are trying to exploit it, but
West Aussies know about not being match fit when it comes to professional soccer. Sorry, I just
well, if you don't laugh, you cry. So
yeah. What does it take to invest in fucking medical staff, eh? Oh, good. Bring Lockie Wales here all you like. Is he actually gonna be fit?
He was just playing.
Okayama coming from 200 plus games in the J1. Is he going to be fit?
Yeah, is he? Is he going to be? Oh,
Oh,
chance here for
oh.
blood. Oh, just going wide
Well,
there.
Sami, I'm
Another
sorry.
one from
I remember that
Falami.
I've also got to kind of commentate instead of just going oh, and
No, you
making noises.
can. That's what we did. If you tuned into last week on the Friday night broadcast, Western United, that thriller against Melbourne victory. There was
So we've done 2 victory games in a row. Hmm.
this is the Melbourne victory.
Who is the player that we can do Ibasuke for?
I don't know.
Balame. That actually works perfectly well. That works perfectly well. There you
What
go.
does?
Balame.
I'm pretty sure I won the Ibisuki 2025 award with my reaction last week. Check that out on all our socials. It's a hilarious clip. Probably the best clip we've managed to get apart from me.
What did Dom think of the whole experience being alongside you both?
I mean, I think Dom was having a lot of fun on the stream, as do all of our special guests. When we do, venture out into soccer Twitter land and get some of your favorite faces here on FPF TV. But yeah, he was having a ball of fun. It looked like, especially
What on earth was that?
the game. Yeah,
That piece. Ethan Cox.
I think
That was awful.
yeah, that was really bad. I think that Sharnan might have FPF cursed him now. It's funny that none of the hosts had to do a front page football TV curse, but Sharnan, I hope that you have a pretty sturdy health policy because in 5 years' time, I will be remembering that comment. Better start paying the premiums now, buddy.
I just sorry. I want to run through my head again. Ethan Cox has basically not taken the goal kick, given it off to whoever the defender was. Hard to make out a number from that distance.
I think it was
And then he's passed it off, and the distribution has ended up going back to victory. Essentially, I mean, I'm very, very, very miffed by what on earth they were trying to cook up there.
Look, our good friend Carl Viet definitely does have a few jokers up his sleeve. So yeah, I have no idea what they were trying to cook up, but they are back on the ball now in Melbourne Victory half. They have had the lion's share of possession here. Victory have been mostly attacking on the counter in transition.
Well, I think that for so as long as they have an interim manager, I think that's probably more likely what we're going to see. And I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it work out.
Look! Oh, what a finish! That is an absolute ripper from Stefan Mork. In behind. An awesome ball. I couldn't say who it was. I think it might have been Zach Clough who delivered the ball. An absolutely brilliant goal from Adelaide United, and it's 1-1 in the 30th minute.
Exactly what the game needed, and this says a lot about their testament and their character.
And it
do you need
it was actually
a team full of champions or a champion team? Mork has put the volley through and immediately gathered the troops around and said, "This game is on. This game is on us. Look at what we can do." This is the testament of being, a champion team as opposed to a team full of champions. And I think it embodies so much about what's working in Adelaide at the moment. They're immediately back onto it. They know the game is on.
Absolutely. That's a fantastic strike from Stefan Mork. And it was delivered by Kikianis. A delicious ball. That was an awesome ball. Especially with that high press that Melbourne Victory were playing. It's so easy. Stefan Moore could have slipped offside, overhit, runs through the Jack Duncan without any sort of threat, but it was the perfect ball and a perfect run off the back shoulder. And we were talking about, in the sort of pre-game we had just before kickoff, how dangerous the front four really of Adelaide United have been this season. And Stefan Mork is certainly a candidate for one of those players who could be one of those Team of the Year qualities. Because, I think that he's just gone even further with his goal-scoring ability.
Oh, that's a brilliant ball.
And that's a wonderful ball. And it's a chance here. Goes across the face of goal, still with Melbourne Victory, out towards the right-hand side. Adelaide trying to scrap it away, and they managed to get it over the halfway line. As I was saying, Stefan Mork, we're talking about his renaissance at Adelaide United. And last season, he was sort of playing as a number 6 and a number 8 at times, which didn't really suit his talent and suit his play style. Certainly when he was in Japan, where he was really, really popular for his ability to go as a number 10 and be almost a shadow striker for his club over at, I think it was Fagiano Osaka in the J2, which is also formerly Mitch Duke. They both played together over there. But a good tackle there by Dylan Perez. But playing as a number 10, he's just so lethal, and he's just like, he's got this quality about him. He's got a great first touch, and that instinct to go on the volley, you know, no hesitation there, put it in the bottom corner. Jack Duncan could really do nothing about it.
It was weighted just the perfect amount to not be too overbearing. Just really strike on target. But you're right. I think actually giving him more attacking freedom and giving him his license back, as opposed to saying, you know, you passed it and you're better off in the kind of anchor position, playing as a natural kind of six. I think it's honestly, it's suited him far more, and it's really unlocked a lot of the potential that the team has.
And it's also, and he just copped one in there. He copped one in the Jats crackers there. Stephen Mork, he's got to be a bit sore.
The Jats crackers.
Stop it.
Stop it.
Oh,
where do they call them Savoy? They call them Savoy in certain parts of Australia.
I mean, if you call them Savoy, I don't really want to go there, to be honest. I don't think it really matters.
I don't know. Like, is that a thing that's like?
I'm gonna be controversial in this on FPF TV though. Very controversial. Clicks over Jats every single day of the week. Clicks are better.
Jack, sorry, I know I put it in one of our group chats the other night. I'm happy to tell this story on air because I think it's okay. Whatever. But Gareth Morgan, the media manager at Glory, for whatever reason, there was a bit of a running gag between Ben Smith from the West Australian, Neil Bennett from I want to say it's called Outside 90, Beyond 90, and myself. We were the main gaggle on the night of press. And we've just kept this running gag of talking about something irrelevant and talking about it for the longest amount of time throughout the game. So it's to just, I don't know, just get through when times are a bit shit or a bit rough or a bit boring, I think is mainly the point. Anyway, tonight...
So FPF TV has leached itself into the West Australian media apparatus now.
No. Well, listen. Trust me, this is relevant to crackers, all right? So we decided on the night at Sam Kerr Centre for the Glory and Sydney FC game, two teams that are kind of down on their luck in the women's competition at the moment, right? We decided the topic was biscuits, and my God, did we have a conversation about biscuits? Now Neil Bennett being the cracker that he is, I'll just wait for this
sorry, I have to
movie to
interrupt you. Adelaide United attacking forward, and they've won a corner here. Excuse me.
We will return to this conversation
as Adelaide prepare to take this corner. I'm always interested in discussions about biscuits. It's one of my favourite subjects.
Just wait. I'm gonna play the audio. I'm gonna do it.
He's gonna play the audio. Wow, this is a FPF TV exclusive.
Well, basically, Neil Bennett, in his infinite wisdom, decided when Stephen came out, and Gareth was on board with it. Gareth thought, I'll officially start the presser, and Neil goes, "We're talking about biscuits." And Stephen, to his credit, he actually sat there for a few minutes and on an officially recorded A-League presser had a conversation with the three of us about types of biscuits.
Well, I think we've seen it all this season. We've seen cameramans harass Ruben Zadkovic and Ruben Zadkovic having a very passive-aggressive handshake with him afterwards. We've seen John Aloisi effectively lose his mind on at Joey Lynch and also Michael Lynch, his father, both in the presser. We've seen it all, and now we've got conversations about biscuits in a A-League Women's official press conference. You know, we've said it once, we've said it a million times. It's the best league in the world, ladies and gentlemen. It is the best league in the world.
Anyway.
There's no way this could happen anywhere else.
I don't know if you want to give your input on this before, because I will play the audio at half time. A very, very important comment from Stephen about his favourite type of biscuit.
Well, we'll play. I think that's going to have to be a halftime segment, because I'm actually.
It will be, but I need your opinion.
Opinion? Oh my God, you can't even get
on the best Australian-made, like, sweet, desserty biscuit.
Oh, okay. The best ever?
Yeah.
You know what? You're gonna look at me like I'm a million years old, but I'm extremely partial to the orange slice and also.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Adelaide are in here.
Oh, Adelaide's a chance! Oh, the great save by Jack Duncan.
Oh, he's in form.
He's getting a shortbread
He's in
biscuit after
form.
this one. He's earned it. That's an incredible save.
Oh my God.
Goodness me. I'm very partial to an orange slice. I love a little shortbread. But here's another interesting facts about biscuits. So you know Deltas, right? The Arnott's version of an Oreo, basically, right?
Yeah.
For those listening at home, the Delta actually predates the American Oreo by about 35 years. So Deltas came before Oreos did.
Oreos.
Deltas
I've
walk.
never seen them before.
They're in the variety pack. Get yourself an Arnott's variety pack.
Oh, yeah. Oh, Deltas. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and
Just,
if you, it's a chance, and
another
just going over the top.
long range
corner.
strike, Ethan
Allegich
Allegich. Yeah.
Coming off scoring a goal last week for Adelaide
The
United.
the variety packs are that's where you're gonna find them the most, right? You don't really see them on their own.
Are we any chance of talking about football tonight, Matt? I just want to say.
Well, no. This is important, right? Because sadly, I started doing my own personal recording from my phone far too late. The conversation was going on for about 3 or 4 minutes, and I've caught the ending of it where not only has Stephen Peters revealed his favourite biscuit, but he has a fantastic anecdote about one, what you do with the biscuit, and two,
All right, well,
an exciting nickname.
we got about 6 minutes of play plus stoppages here. I think that's one for the halftime show because that's definitely Saturday night front page football TV quality content. I've got to say, a professional football coach's opinions about biscuits is certainly one. Straight out of an episode of Ted Lasso, like you cannot write scripts like these.
Sorry, I just
flash up.
If it's good enough. If it's good enough for the A-League, it's good enough for us. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I mean, you know what? I did put a shout out on there from for your favourite original rivalry moments. I think Seb O'Neill came with a good one where Taylor Regan absolutely monstered Costa Barbarousas for no reason. I think it was Barbarousas. Oh, it's a chance! And
no, I
just
thought
over
it was
the
Mitch
top.
Austin. I thought it was
Actually,
Mitch
no,
Austin.
it was Mitch Austin. Yeah, it was Mitch Austin.
Yeah.
Who I'm sure is a
man.
lovely guy, has a real just like mashable face. I'm sorry.
He has been through a lot in media and in his
Absolutely.
life. Done a lot of really great things when he was the main striker for the Mariners. Had a stint in Victory, and then had his panic attack on live TV.
Yeah.
Come back, got into the space as an influencer, doing a lot of work in the esports space. So
he was playing at Sydney FC and then the Jets through that time as well. So
yeah.
I thought he was a terrific player, to be honest, in terms of A-League quality. His speed, his agility, I think his ability to cut in at times as well, and he was lethal, especially for the Central Coast Mariners for a good portion there. As another chance goes behind, but I also fondly remember Taylor Regan mashing him up in an original rivalry about 10 years ago now. So
and how good was Taylor Regan, eh?
Don't ever get me started about how good Taylor Regan was.
Cox's distribution
has
again
been shocking.
Yeah.
To be fair,
not what he needs on
a
show.
Good shot stopper, but geez, man, if you can't clear it, 35 yards, that's a problem. That's an issue. But hopefully, it's just a bit of nerves on the young man. He can pull it back together. I blame Sharnan. I blame him for this.
Is that someone we'll ever get on the show? I wonder.
Well, maybe anything's possible. We're open to some special guests, partial guests. We got some people in the pipeline. You gotta say, that's a beautiful touch.
It was a brilliant touch.
Maybe if he was about 10 years younger, he could have got to that. But he is 35, Zach Clough, so maybe a little bit optimistic with that touch as Victory able to get him behind a chance. That's a very.
I tell you what, if that was set up.
That was an awesome challenge by Kikianis.
Yeah, his footwork and his technical ability there is first class. You're just missing the setup there. That could have very easily been 2-1.
Well, we're having a discussion about who most dangerous players in the league are, and my start of the season prediction was Zinedine Machach for Johnny Warren medalist. Now, I don't think he's going to win it now. I don't think he's been good enough. And also, he's prone to suspensions, which could put him out of the running altogether. So, but I will say, I feel that somehow, even though he's been, I think, very, very good for Victory, we still haven't seen the best of Zinedine Machach yet. You know, he's shown glimpses of how good he can be on a regular basis, but I don't think we've seen the full Zinedine Machach story yet. So hopefully he can stick around the league for a few more years, and we will be able to see that. He's been one of those, those import signings that Victory managed to get at a good age with a good pedigree of talent, and maybe the chance to play into the future as Daniel Arzani tried to get.
And I just wind the conversation back around to that of Valtteri Bottas. The Adelaide United have posted a photo with Bottas with an Adelaide kit. Now, bit of history here in that the Australian Grand Prix historically was in Adelaide and was moved to Albert Park in Melbourne, where it has since been for the last 30 or so years, back in, I want to say 93 or 94. And Adelaide's caption is with Bottas posting with the holding up the Adelaide kit. It says, "They took the F1 away from us, but not tonight." And it's Bottas with the... That's fantastic. That is fantastic.
That's that's quite good. I like that. I like that from Adelaide. A little bit of I don't know, just fuck you to the Melbourne crowd.
Basically that's all it is. And hey, what was the old slogan back in AFL footy days? It was kick a Vic. Yeah. You get your chance to you kick a Vic.
All right. We don't quite have that on the Eastern Seaboard. We're more just like we're sort of more like, Brisbane, lovely city, but there's only one thing wrong with it. There's too many Queenslanders.
That's it.
Christian Marchetti via Twitter, I just saw this Twitter, he just says, "This game rules." And I'm like, yeah, it does. We haven't talked about it much, but this has been a fucking awesome game.
Well, like I said, I was putting the bulk of my commentary on how well defensively both of these teams shaped up, and then you look at the goals that they've both conceded, and they've been quality efforts. I mean,
absolutely.
It is really, yeah.
Absolutely. As we enter into stoppage time now, Adelaide maybe trying to get one last chance before the halftime whistle. 1-1, I would say a pretty fair representation of what's unfolded, really. I think Adelaide United have had the lion's shares of possession in some good areas and haven't really been able to capitalise. And Melbourne Victory have been very good in the counter-attack. There's another chance.
Oh, my goodness!
It's an own goal! It's an own goal! Melbourne Victory have conceded right before the halftime whistle. I think the last touch did come off Brendan Hamill there. It's 2-1 Adelaide, and that is a gift for Adelaide.
Is it Miranda?
Miranda.
They're showing Miranda on the...
Pardon me, it is Roderick Miranda. A very dangerous cross by Dylan Perias there. Fantastic ball in behind. And Melbourne Victory have got that all wrong. It looks like they were able
Goodwin was nowhere to be found. And I don't mean that in the sense that he was doing a poor job getting forward. He was just that well covered. And then
I think it was off Hamill.
Yeah, it was off Hamill.
It was off Brendan Hamill.
And Miranda.
It's Hamill into Miranda. Oh, that is peak A-League
They've
right
both
there.
done a superb job covering the threat that Archie Goodwin was posing there, and they've run over each other trying to get the... Oh, my goodness.
That's a coach killer. That is simply a coach killer.
It's an unfortunate piece of bad luck, but it just goes to show that's how much respect they've given Archie Goodwin. They've run over each other trying to cover him.
Well, he's attracted both central defenders in a
tight
area.
He's drawn them in.
And, I know he didn't score, but Archie Goodwin, that's sort of the threat he, possesses. He sort of strikes fear into a lot of defenders, especially this season. And you do have to cover him because he's just that good at getting into the right areas.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's, resulted in a goal for Adelaide and a go-ahead goal right before half-time at a full house at Cooper Stadium. So, 2-1, and Carl Viet doesn't look nearly as happy as most people in Cooper Stadium right now.
He's got a bit of the Ernie Merrick gene in him, eh? You've seen the greatest goal in the history of Australian football. Come on, Ernie, on your feet. He's just sitting there. Seriously. How do you not? How do you have it within your genes? If we just saw The Riley McGree Scorpion kick. I
Oh,
don't
and
think we've
another
been.
chest
Oh,
maybe for
Morrison
Adelaide.
again.
Oh, and just
Deflection.
blocked out. It's going to be a corner right on the eve of half
Goodness.
time.
Has your sofa score widget broken on the streaming deck there? I can't help but notice it's stuck at 44:10 seconds.
That's not sofa score. That's flash score, actually.
Flash score. I do apologize.
Yeah. So, you get it right before you start harassing me on it. But sometimes it
Oh,
just doesn't quite update. You have to click on it again. It's just,
yeah. Okay.
we're open to all, tips. If you want to be a junior producer here at FPF TV, we'd love to see what you can bring to the table. As I think that's just going to be able to do it. They'll probably let this phase of play peter out. And the whistle would be in the mouth, I think, of the official. And that'll do it. That's half time. So it is 2-1 Adelaide in the lead at home against Melbourne Victory in the original rivalry, courtesy of goals from Stefan Morgan and an own goal from Roderick Miranda off Brendan Hamill. Melbourne Victory, the goal scorer was Ryan Teague to make it 1-1, but Adelaide currently have their hands on the 3 points in a very crucial game for both teams. So, with that being halftime, I'm going to take a quick break here at FPF TV, but don't go away. We'll be back in a few minutes to, I think, discuss a bit of biscuits at halftime. Yeah! Okay. We'll be right back. Thank you so much. Hello and welcome back to FPF TV. It is halftime in the original rivalry. Adelaide United currently leading 2-1 in a very exciting game in a packed house at Coopers Stadium. But we're going to get to some very important halftime discussions that you brought up during the stream. If you're just joining us, we have a little biscuit chat. I don't know what this segment's called. Maybe it could be, cracker chat, something like that. I don't know. That rhymes. I didn't mean it to.
Well, you never got your right of reply on the Crackers, and I definitely do want to start with the Crackers, but I also want to start with the warm embrace of Stephen Peters, the coach of Perth Glory's women's team,
Well, take it away.
letting us know the other night what the appropriate description for a Monte Carlo Arnott's biscuit is. So I'll get.
Let him take it away for us.
Monty's are pretty good. Yeah. Put them in the fridge. They're really good. My dad calls them HO. Hands off.
Hands off the Monties.
Hands off.
Hands off the Monties. HO.
Hands off the Monties. HO. Well, that was quite quite an interesting show. It all happens in the A-League. It can't happen in any other league but the A-League. The best league in the world. We'll quickly go to the YouTube comments. Jack Lang saying, have to say it's good that Brisbane finally won, but I hate that it wasn't against Auckland. I don't know what Jack Lang has against our New Zealand brothers and sisters, but that's his opinion. I think maybe with Auckland starting so well, and I know for a fact Jack Lang being based in Brisbane might be just like, oh, it would have been nice to knock them off, wouldn't it? But it wasn't to be. He says it would have been really funny, just to follow up on that. So, I think it was really funny that Brisbane Roar managed to almost hand the game back to Sydney FC within the last 5 minutes. So, but they managed to hang on for some 3 points there. Let's talk about this one. I think the standout in this game so far, I've got to say, Stefan Mork has been crucial, just in the linkage play for Adelaide United, getting the ball forward, getting them into some good areas. And really has been bossing it at the peak of that midfield. And also, I think that Ethan Allegidge has been really impressive. His industrial going up and back, winning some challenges, basically taking out Rodriguez out of the game effectively by being able to get across and help out Ryan Kiddo in those defensive situations. Have you noticed anything in particular with this first half that you've been impressed by, Matt?
Yeah, I think certainly the doggedness of Adelaide to really, not be too deterred. I think they've shown incredible character, and it's the thing I came to in the immediate aftermath of that goal. It's what I continue to say, that their character is clearly a leadership trait that's taking them places. Mork immediately going into the huddle after scoring that goal, it just is a really powerful gesture. And you don't have to be the biggest expert on football tactically to understand when you see something like that, it tends to be a sign of really, really positive things. It's the biggest takeaway I take from anything. Any unexpected rise in the game is brought by the right amount of the use of players in certain areas, but also especially character. And the character just showed in that moment. So for me, so as long as they stay composed at home, I'd back them to go on and win this one. The second half has now kicked off.
Yes, we were back just in time for the second half. Adelaide United getting forward and winning a throw. They are running towards that Red Army end. So that'll be, a bit of encouragement for their attacking players. But there'll also be some encouragement for Melbourne Victory as they'll be running towards their away supporters at the other end of that stadium. An interesting second half, I think. I think the game, it's already been quite open, but I think it's got another level to go to before we sign off for the night. I think that can be said. As Britta Fornaroli forward.
Gosh, that is just superb ball movement.
Superb pass from Zidane Machach to get out of those areas. And Melbourne Victory have hung onto the ball for an early opportunity here. It's with Arzani.
Boss.
Good ball in by Boss, just headed away by Adelaide and further away. I will say, I did say Adam Trier did pick up a knock, but he is on the bench there. So I just wanted to clarify that he's not actually out of the squad with his injury, but he did pick up a knock against Western United. Sorry, I think it was the previous game before the Western United game. And
There is a player that's pulled up lame. It's Rawlins. Rawlins was pulled up really lame there off the ball.
Yeah, I can just see
but he's on his
struggling
feet
to get
again.
back.
Yeah. Interesting to see if there's any movement there from a tactical piece as
A
well.
little bit short in right back. We'll just have a look at the benches whilst we have the opportunity. So, for Adelaide United, James Delian, of course, on the bench with Ethan Cox in goals. We've talked about that. But they've got Isaias, Johnny Yule, Austin.
Oh, Falami's. Oh, dear me.
Oh, goodness me. That could be...
Falami's accidentally got the studs in there. I'm very shocked with that.
Is there... We'll have to just watch out. I don't know. I don't think VAR can go back that far.
No, they can't. They can't retrospectively apply anything.
Oh, and here's a ball in for...
And there was a big chance for more.
Oh, and more.
Palami's very, very lucky. I mean, it was obviously accidental. And I mean, he's immediately gone and grabbed Rawlins on the shoulder and sort of apologized. But my goodness, that did not look good at all.
He has picked up a yellow card for his efforts there. But it's a pretty good ball. Stefan Mork might be a little bit disappointing to get that on target.
That is the kind of low arriving, sort of high trajectory kind of volleyed effort that Adam Taggart really thrives under, funnily enough.
Yes, we cannot go a week without reminding people West Australian football does exist. Absolutely it does. But we're here, FPF TV, original rivalry. It's going splendid. So, very happy to be here. Make sure you get in touch with us via YouTube. Twitter, I'll be checking the Twitter accounts, Facebook, wherever you want to at us, ask us some questions. Maybe about biscuits, if you were...
Maybe about biscuits. Maybe about the cricket or the tennis. Yeah. Maybe about football.
Is it front page sports or front page football? Who knows? It could be either at this point.
Or, we do Rivalry Bottas in the house. Maybe you want to look. This is a reference you won't get, Jack, but maybe someone wants to talk about porridge as well.
Yeah, I got no fucking idea.
after Valtteri Bottas won the Australian Grand Prix in 2019, Mark Webber was doing the interviews, and he asked Valtteri as like an opener to like a bit of humour, just a bit of a lighthearted chat. What did you have for breakfast? And Valtteri's that out of it, having just been in an F1 car for 3 hours, and he turns to and goes porridge. Just answers the question seriously, and it became a bit of a meme that Valtteri Bottas was known as the porridge boss for a little while there in F1 circles. The Chash has another ball through.
Oh, it's a chance.
It was a chance there for Santos. I think it was Santos, wasn't it?
Santos, sorry.
Yeah, Santos.
Pardon me. So Santos now playing on the left?
Yeah.
So have they switched sides from how they lined up? I mean, as far as foot. Oh no. Oh yeah, they have switched sides. Daniel Azani was attacking, I think, on the left-hand side in the first half.
But this is also interesting in that now that both teams have conceded, they are obviously changing their approach to be a bit looser, go on the attack, and what I find really intriguing from that piece is we've now seen both teams actually really waste chances. Mork and Santos could have easily put both through, and we'd be looking at a 3-3 scoreline with victory now having some fairly intense moments. I mean, the game's opened up for sure. Is more the point here, and still got 40 minutes left to play. This is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Is going to be an enthralling matchup for the remainder of the match. Last 40 minutes or so, plus stoppages. There might be a few. It could get a bit dicey out there.
Very much so.
As many heated. That's a nice touch from Daniel Azani.
Oh.
And Machach able to put it through. A chance here.
He's got his hand up about something. He's not happy with himself.
That's a pretty decent effort by Ryan Kitto to hold off Bruno Fornaroli, who was looking to get him behind there. Pretty decent showing there by the Adelaide captain. But again, just a lovely ball through by Zinedine Machach.
And the form on the clearance from Kitto was very, very sweet as a nut.
Yeah, sweet as a Monty.
Oh, you got a HO. You got a HO on those ones.
I've got a HO
Beautiful
warning.
talent.
I've got a HO warning. Got a yellow card. Hands off. It's Victory with the corner. They go short.
Oh.
Arzani. A chance. Oh, good tackle. And now Adelaide can get forward. 2-on-2 situation here. Perez
There's a
getting
big chance
forward.
brewing, but it's just going to be
Dylan
dropped a bit
Perez
too far.
just too far ahead
On
of
the
him.
advancing
He's
Reds.
quick. As Martin Tyler would say, he's quick, but not that quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, astute commentating there, right here on
Astute.
FPF TV.
Do you know who one of my personal favourite commentators is? And I don't think you're going to know who this guy is, but Thomas Lockwood, the guy who used to be like the FIFA TV commentator. So whenever you'd watch like a non-World Cup FIFA event, he would be the commentator for most of the games. And he just has a very, very distinct voice and a very, very distinct catchphrase. He'd always say, "That is the moment for,
That is
strike."
the moment for Zimbabwe against Bangladesh. It's 1-0.
Yeah.
I think
That's
I
the
know.
moment to make that challenge.
And, he
And
never has
Thomas Lockwood.
He never has a co-commentator either. Like
No.
It's just him in the box alone on his lonesome.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I know.
traveling
exactly who you're
traveling
talking
the
about.
world doing all sorts of events. I was this is just me. I naturally covering the futsal. I was watching a bit of old futsal games that
Oh,
both
that's
the
a
men's
great
and
touch by Falami. Just couldn't find the pass. Sorry to interrupt. There.
no, you're right. I was watching the 2012 futsal World Cup in Thailand where Australia beat Mexico, I think 3 or 4-0. And Thomas Lockwood is on commentary. And Greg Giovanilli, who plays for Hills United in New South Wales, it's an absolute thunder bastard. And then he just goes for that is the moment for the strike. A Giovanelli's celebration. He turns around and he does something where he starts almost like he's twerking on the court, and it's just really awkward to watch back because of the way it's kind of put together with the commentary. And then some dude putting his ass in front of the camera. It's very, very, very funny. But
I'll
yeah.
take your word for it, Matt. Having not been there myself. Oh, goodness me.
Yeah.
Corner? No, goal kick. No, it is a corner.
Is it?
It is. It is, in fact, a corner. Adelaide United in an attacking position here. Zach Clark.
And I'll tell you what, this is kind of the tempo of the game where it almost feels a little bit dead, like it's died down a bit. But this is
It's just edgy now.
fireworks are
Yeah.
about to erupt.
It's edgy. I don't know how long it's going to be edgy until it opens back up again. But at the moment, just a little bit edgy. Both teams probably trying to see out the first, 10 or so minutes of the second half.
That was
as the headers loop back
Almost
in.
an audacious volley. I mean, if Falami had the right shape there, he could have actually struck that.
I don't think he gets to the ball in time. I think that's why
Yeah.
he ended up just easing off the pace as to not embarrass himself. As Victory are making a substitution. It is Bruno Fornaroli, and replacing him is Nicholas Vergos up front. So going for a different attacker up there. Nicholas Vergos probably not as good as Bruno Fornaroli in the pivot, being able to open up the likes of Daniel Arzani and Santos on the wings. But
Oh, Goodman! He's done excellent to get that out. that would have been creating a chance out of absolutely nothing, just missing.
It reminds me of what Ali Qual did last night against Western Sydney Wanderers. Didn't give up on it, pressured the defender, got a challenge in, wasn't silly, didn't give away a foul, and his of course led to a goal that was really quite well finished from a difficult angle. But that one nearly paying out for Archie Goodwin. As was that a foul? No, that's a foul. Okay, I thought it was a foul throw then. I thought only in the A-League.
No, I mean, it was. You could tell his body language. He was off, because he's almost started walking back to the ball, which I don't think. You'd want to see that.
It was almost about he was going to go, "What are you doing? I'm offside." He was about to throw the hands up in the air. Still a little bit edgy, not quite as open as the first 10 minutes of the first half.
No.
So we're still waiting for this game to sort of maybe get rid of those nerves from both teams.
I'm a little bit. I'm just caught my attention. The Mandarin UCAN ads on the on the LED there. That's very interesting. It's tight for the A-League, but anyway.
There we go.
The ball from Melbourne. They're creating some chances to victory, but it's just a bit on the
Adelaide
sloppier
just
side
staying-
now.
Yeah, Adelaide
Yeah,
staying
resolute.
really compact, not trying to rush their defensive movements. It's Archie Goodwin with a nice press.
Yeah, I mean, Goodwin's
Ooh,
and Moore. Yeah, okay.
yep, that's probably a foul. Probably.
It was on one in that the clearance went up, and then you just saw Mork and Goodwin's bodies just advance forward, and you're thinking, how have they managed to almost take?
Mork was trying to do his best Nick Dacos impression there
Yes.
with the mark in midfield.
Very surprising effort that's almost kind of ended up in
Ben Falami
on a
coming
bloody
off
AFL
in
magazine. But
for,
no, they've got
Yaya
Yaya
Dukule.
Dukle coming on for Falami.
And Jovanovic replacing Archie Goodwin up front.
Goodman.
So, again, a different shape. Yaya Dukule, of course, sort of an exciting package. A bit raw when it comes to the talent
Yeah.
side. So, be interesting to see how he settles in here. And Jovanovic coming off the back of a goal off the bench in their last outing. So, interesting to see if he can nab another one with some decent minutes here. Over half an hour for both of the young up-and-coming attackers for Adelaide United. As it's a corner here for Melbourne victory. And will they go short again? No, Arzani peels away.
Teague's delivery was
That's a
very well
fantastic
struck.
delivery. Fantastic delivery by Teague. Not quite taken advantage of by Melbourne victory, but they're able to reclaim the ball and get it back into the final third. Can't quite work that one to Jovanovic pressing. Can't quite nab the ball.
It's on his
with
cross.
it.
It's actually stayed in.
That was
Now
really
Teague to Michesh. Where's this come from?
Oh,
Oh,
very nonchalant sequence there by Melbourne victory. Sorry, just like the ball sort of stayed in when Arzani was like hoping it went out, and all of a sudden a chance created.
Mm.
Brendan Hamill, what are you doing there? Sorry, that's a callback from our last week's stream. What's he doing up there? Oh, a lot of fun. This game has been so far a lot of fun, but a very cagey first 15 minutes.
What? Duckley's been wow.
Ah,
He
that's I think it's been called back for the foul now.
Yeah, okay.
It's gonna say Ali Reza, like that's fairly lenient for his standards when it comes to fouls.
Still trying to wrap my head around the fact that someone that's done FIFA World Cup finals has forged a career in the Australian A-League, but fair play to him.
Well, Australia is a beautiful place to live.
Yes, especially if you are an Iranian at this particular moment in time.
Okay, let's not get too political here. As a chance goes in, Jack Duncan paws it away. For
Oh.
Melbourne victory, and it'll be a corner for Adelaide United.
Is that Tekianis on the cross, was it?
I think it was Dylan Prius
Yes.
coming out that right wing, probably searching for Jovanovic.
Yeah, it would have been Prius. My apologies.
Didn't quite get the curve he was expecting. Flashed across goal. Prius has had a fantastic season.
Can I tell you a Dylan Prius fact that everyone should know off the top of their head?
Sure.
Dylan Prius was the first ever A-League footballer born in the 21st century.
Really?
Mhm.
Wow. Andrew Stato. Eat your
Wow.
heart out, baby.
Really? Wow.
Really? Goodness gracious.
You did not get a single shred about that. Fucking hell. Well, what was impressive about it, Jack, is that he was 16. He made his debut in 2016, born in 2000. So it was a really, really big deal at the time.
I can't remember. Where did he make his debut?
It was for Melbourne City. I want to say it was against the Wanderers at the AFL ground in Olympic Park. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, there you go. Matt Olsenio Stato coming up clutch there.
Matias Alcinho.
Alcinho.
Yes.
Yeah.
I from Portuguese.
Shatter stat all over this stream. Yeah.
Well. Speaking of Portuguese, let's not forget with me being so fixated on the futsal at the moment. The names of futsal positions are in Portuguese, which I was having a little rant about last night. But yeah, I find it interesting because the word pivot in Portuguese, it means like the attacking player or the like the striker or the target player is what it means. But it's spelled like pivot in English, and that really puts me off because a pivot in English is a completely different position, right? Like it's, you're looking at your anchoring.
You can have
number
an
6.
attacking pivot, like, your target man, like pivots back against the defender. So it's not exactly wrong. I was going to say, it's not getting into too, one nation territory with your ranting about the Portuguese names for the futsal positions, is it?
No, it just caught me off guard. That's all. I mean, your wingers are called alas, which I don't even know.
Oh, that's such a better name for a winger. Alas. That's an awesome name for a winger. Like if they pass it, there you go, goes
Cooley on the cross.
Oh, DeCooley kept in dangerous looking cross. Oh, come on, have a hit, Alex. Just hit that. Just go for it. I want to say something special here, boys. Oh. That was
Kiddo's on a bit of a run now. He strides there. The finish is not.
Oh, and just couldn't quite get it
Mort's
in the area.
still on the ball. This is incredible from Adelaide, and it's saved by Duncan. Even better effort.
Stephen. What's that guy's name again? Are you doing your best Stephen? What's that guy you mentioned before?
Oh, Thomas Lockwood.
Oh, Thomas Lachlan. You do it. Sorry, Stephen. Yeah. Sorry, it was 2 white people names. I got confused. 2 white people first names, by the way. Can't trust people with 2 first names.
No. No,
absolutely not. I would not give you my credit card information. But if there's any sponsors out there that are willing to donate to FPF TV, I'll give you my credit card information. Just transfer to the account. I'll give you my BSB account.
Yeah, we still going after biggies?
Yeah, Arnott's, where are you? What are you doing today? Arnott's not doing anything on Saturday night.
Monte Carlo. HO hands off. Tell me it's not an advert that doesn't write itself. Thank you, Stephen Peters.
The HO handoff player of the match. And it's an attack if Adelaide United getting down the pitch. Oh, goodness me. Saturday nights. SATURDAY.
Now that has found Jack Duncan like a slips catch in cricket. That was awful.
Not quite a slips catch. I would say that's like more of a loft to mid off, to be honest. Like that's he took it quite comfortably. Sort of, just like didn't quite get through his drive, I've seen David want to do that a few times where he's tried to drive, it's gotten up on him on a bouncier pitch and he hasn't quite gotten through his full stroke. Just lofted up to mid off for an easy catch.
How angry would Christian be if he was on the stream and he heard this conversation?
Oh, fuming, but he's not here, so he can't.
No, and I think it's a very pleasant commentary, I must say. I think as 2 very knowledgeable sports fans, we know our way around good commentary on something, Yeah,
absolutely. We've managed to get like Bicky's in there. What, Nick Dacos got a mention for some reason. That's like the only
Turbo winning the cycling championships.
Yeah. Jesus Christ. Again, if there was, table tennis in Singapore, you're watching it. I guarantee that you're... And, I know for a fact that you don't even gamble. So it's not even for, for the usual reason that Australians watch Singaporean table tennis. It's a weird reason to watch it. Of course, everyone at home, gamble responsibly. Matt Olsen is just a sycophant for sport. And I love speaking to you about it because I was like, what the fuck does this guy do? Does this guy watch a movie every once in a while?
No, to be fair, getting me talking about pop culture is pretty difficult. But the moment that really struck me was I thought as a bit of a rugby league guy, you'd be really, really impressed by my Western Reds kit, given it's actually
I was impressed. I saw it in person.
That is a goal! Your away section for victory is going incredible.
They're going crazy. That's getting on channel.
Like,
that's going on Channel 9 News on Monday. That's crazy. That's a crazy celebration. Look at the limbs. And after that, Santos.
Talk about some of these innocuous efforts we've been seeing, though. Just that one little flash of ball movement. It's Azani with the cross, is it? Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. That's a beautiful ball,
That
too.
is found.
And touch, and he's just touched it down. Brilliant ball. And it's just found the back post, and Dylan Pereira's really caught lacking in his defensive structure there.
Yeah.
Was not covering the back post at all. And Adelaide players will probably ask a few
For
questions
me,
of
it's
their
it's
right
actually the response of Fornaroli to draw in
back. Both
the Adelaide
centre-backs.
players.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's actually not Fornaroli.
Exactly
Nicholas Virgos was...
Virgos, sorry. Yeah, Virgos.
Who drew both of the centre-backs. 2-2. Superb goal by Melbourne Victory. And Santos is
exactly what the game
goal.
needed at this time.
And it sort of opened up. I can see both teams getting in on it as they have a drinks break, as is sanctioned in these hot summer months. I think that... I'm not sure of the weather, but I'm pretty sure it's quite ugly down in Adelaide at the moment. On the back of some pretty torrential storms happening in the southeastern and northeast states now. It's moved all the way up to Grafton. That's my weather report for around Australia. I've been Jack too.
I'll tell you what, sorry. I think this is a really weird angle, just talking about sport and while there's the break and play. And I don't mean to take away from the goal. Fantastic moment for the Melbourne Victory. Cruz Hewitt, Leighton's son, Cruz Hewitt, is winning in the boys singles at the Oz Open, which is a terrific moment for Australian sport if he can go on a bit of a run here.
What round is it? Just...
They've gone Channel 9 have gone window and window, so I can't see. I can't see the graphic, but I can just see that he's obviously leading.
Well, that's good. He was one of the youngest Australian men to make it to the qualifying stage of the Australian Open for a very, very long time. So looking forward to hear that. That's right. Front page sports, baby. Front page sports. Get it trending. But
fantastic.
Drinks break is over. Both teams getting ready to continue the play after Adelaide conceding a goal.
I've just heard Bruce Gite say something a little bit funny on commentary. He's called the drinks break essentially a timeout, which I can't even begin to imagine where FIFA would be going in 2026 USA World Cup if we introduce the old timeout, hey?
Yeah, well, how are we supposed to learn about how Bud Light is the king of beers? Like,
The Super Soccer game is going to have timeout.
Like, I don't understand why these soccer, like, every game, if it's drawn, it should go to a penalty shootout. Because, yeah, it should go to a shootout, overtime.
In hockey.
And what's with this thing, like, in Major League Baseball, you have the celebrity throwing out the first pitch.
He's in.
Duclay's in. Not quite for Adelaide. Well covered. Yeah, for the Major League Baseball, you have the celebrity throwing out the first pitch. What about a celebrity doing the kickoff from the start of the MLS? You know, get Willem Dafoe. You know, kicking out the first kickoff for DC United.
World Cup 2026 Australia. Hugh Jackman celebrity kickoff.
That sounds... You got to promote the game. You know, these soccer people, they want to stay really true to the history, but you got to promote the game. You know, the NBA had to pivot in the 60s and 70s. You know, the NFL has always had to pivot to appease modern audiences. It's the reason why it's not the #1 sports in the world. Fuck off. This is disintegrated into something a little bit ugly now.
No, we're not. We're not xenophobic.
Oh, well, look, I don't think it counts if it's America.
No, you're exactly right. It's still legal. It is still legal to, own assault weapons. So that's on them.
Okay, let's not talk about that. Let's pivot this conversation away. Before we get demonetized. Not that we were monetized before, but
yeah, they're on the ball. It's died down a little bit.
Oh, damn.
The switch of the play there to Zach Clough was fantastic. Now Duckley's in with a cross.
Thank you, Matt, for waking me up. That was loud.
That
a chance!
was fantastic!
3-2!
It's Ethan Elegant!
3-2! Ethan Elegant!
Finished!
Oh my goodness!
A punch in the air and an embrace for his teammates. Adelaide are on the ball.
What a game!
Have you seen anything like this? The original rivalry at its best. That is football heritage.
He's come out with all the sayings, Matt Olsen, but truly...
Because that Clough was Unbelievable.
Absolutely. A fantastic cross from Yaya Dekule. Falls out to Ethan Alagic with, through a deflection, has scored for Adelaide United. It's 3-2 here after a few minutes ago going behind. Melbourne Victory scoring in sort of an innocuous way. Now Adelaide United reply. It could, I don't think it will, but it might go down as an own goal. There might be a little bit of dubious nature there, but I'm willing to credit it to Ethan Alagic. And it's 3-2 for Adelaide United, just getting confirmation that has been awarded to Ethan Alagic there.
That's on target. That's on target. Tookley immediately with the celebration. Look at us, eh?
Well, last week we were treated to a 4-3 absolute thriller between Melbourne Victory and Western United, and here FPF TV has delivered again with another absolute barnstormer of a match. The original rivalry, one of the better games of this round. Fantastic for Adelaide United, fantastic for football fans all around the country.
This game, this league, it just
keeps on delivering. Dylan Pereus wrote about 3 paragraphs about why he loves the A-League and why people should pay attention to it. And you know what? It's only fitting that in the game that he's a part of, Adelaide United, there's proof in the fucking pudding, baby. Look at this. Look at the A-League.
The old, can I say, the old red naval insignia being waved at Adelaide games is an old A-League favourite. They've been doing that since, they've been doing that for the better part of 2 decades now, to be honest.
I thought the Red Navy was an NSL thing. Like, just a few years before the NSL came undone.
Oh, I tell you what, it actually could have been. It actually could have been.
The old Hindmarsh Stadium, like the really old
Yeah. That era of Adelaide United is obviously overshadowed by Perth being very good. And also our age as well, if we're just being honest. Here's Nishan Valupale and Jin Reese coming on for Melbourne Victory.
So Daniel Arzani and I think Santos to be replaced.
Santos, yep. He's played his part tonight.
He has. He scored, got them back into the game 2-2. Nishan Valupale coming on. I mean, he's sort of gone from being a prime attacking option from the Socceroos to designated starter for Melbourne Victory to coming back from an injury and now being somewhat out of favour.
Can I just say from a Socceroos piece, Nish provided against China was a massive win for the Socceroos campaign, and I like to not have players get forgotten in a campaign like that, because a lot of guys will have their 1 or 2 appearances and then fade off into the wilderness. Nish's contribution against China has set us up. It's really set up the platform. So I'd like to give a shout to Nish because he probably won't be there in 26, but we'll never forget what he did at the Adelaide Oval.
Well, I think there's been a few players that, often play really, really well in qualifying and don't quite get the nod in the squad. Like I can think, I think Ryan Grant played his part in a few qualifying campaigns and never went to a World Cup for the Socceroos. I mean, I think Josh Risdon, when he was in a stint with the Socceroos, never really got his accolades. So,
well, I mean, he played all 3 games in Russia.
But it was one of the more disappointing World Cups for the Socceroos, to be honest. If you're talking about the most disappointing World Cups, 2018 probably has to be.
He's probably up there, yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Didn't score a goal from open play. Quite apathetic.
The Peru loss was a pretty awful, awful night.
Like, I'm just going to say, Bert Van Marwijk, as much as, I'm sure, he's a much better coach than you and I and a lot of people around the world. His apathetic approach to Socceroos press conferences and what he was saying about the team was pretty demoralising. So that's one to forget, and that's the reason why I bring up Josh Risdon, because he did play all 3 games there, and that's a World Cup that I think a lot of Aussies have forgotten for the right reasons. Anyway, back to this game, which is fucking exciting.
Whenever there's international.
Oh!
Is he off?
Oh,
he was off.
Ethan Cox did well to cover the front post there.
The international contributions of players like that, the A-League needs to start shouting this stuff from the rooftops. Like this is a guy who's coming off the bench from Melbourne Victory, and within a few months ago, literally destroyed the Chinese national team. We ought to make a bigger deal of that.
I think that for some reason, the the A-League, even when it was under Football Australia's control, like, have never truly, like, gone, hey, look, these are all Socceroos. These are all players that have played at, like, a very, very high level. And they've never they've never really tried to capture the cultural zeitgeist with just it. These are your Australian heroes. These are the guys who pull on the green and gold. Which in every other sporting league, except for maybe AFL, because they don't really have any international representation, like, their representative careers are, like, front and center. Like, if you think about cricket, you know, the reason, like, you know, I mean, it goes without saying when Stephen Smith pulls on a Sydney Sixers jersey, you know that he's one of the greatest batsmen to ever play for Australia. But, like, you know, it's every second sentence, it's like, that's why he's one of the best in the world. That's why he's always been one of the best in the world. That's why, you know, he's up with the likes of Ponting, Bradman, Alan Border. You know, they just keep singing it where, you know, in this league and the way this league is, like, organised is, like, you know,
Matthew Leckie.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
only did Matthew Leckie do what he did against Denmark, but he also was off the back of playing in the Bundesliga for a decade. And you know,
again, that's what I'm
there's
saying.
just
It's
not
like,
enough of that.
every second word, if I was commentating, would be like Matthew Leckie. You know, we know he's played in world-class arenas before. Yeah, I mean, I know he's injured. It's pretty hard to go, oh yeah, let's just get a sub, him in the
No, but I mean, even when there was something that actually, like, I was really, really riled up
maybe a
about at the
chance
time.
pressing on Jack Duncan. Ooh,
I wrote about this for FPF at the time. Obviously, I don't think we probably had the following during the World Cup that we'd have probably liked. But I wrote about it at the time in that Clint Stanaway was hosting the Today Show on Channel 9. And look, it's a platform. Like, it is a big kind of mainstream media outlet. And he's basically said that, oh, this Matthew Leckie guy is just an A-League player. And I was like, Clint.
No, he's not.
Clint,
Just an
he
A-League.
played for Hertha Berlin for years.
He played in the Bundesliga. He's got 200 league appearances in the Bundesliga. What do you mean he's just an A-League player? I mean, again, first and foremost, just an A-League player is like, first off, I'm like, well, okay, the A-League is a pretty good standard professional football. And it's been proven by the likes of Nishan Velupillay. And, sorry, I'll just quickly go to Facebook after we like both start ranting about the representation of the A-League in football media and Australian football. But Rizky Alrido Ansaya says Adelaide United 3-2 to Melbourne victory. Yeah, we're seeing it. We're watching it live. I know the scoreboard hasn't really updated. We've had some problems with it, but let me just quickly refresh that. There we go. It's live again. So thank you for reminding us that a scoreboard sometimes needs a little bit of a kick up the arse when goals go in. But yeah, just saying that, it's like think about Craig Goodwin. Like in the last World Cup, he's just an A-League player, and he scored against Argentina, assisted one of the greater goals for Australia to Matthew Leckie, and played a part in that Tunisia game with the cross in the middle to Duke. It's like, yeah, he's just an A-League. And the A-League is not just this thing where it's like, oh yeah, he only plays in the A-League, so it's so surprising when they play well. It's like, no. The A-League doesn't get the following as some other leagues around the world, but it's a top 5 league in Asia. It's a top 5 league in Asia, and when you consider, like, leagues around the world and the players that are successful in it, like, it's in and around the top 40 leagues in the world. So, like, it's not...
Stockley's gone down. I'm not sure about that.
There might be a foul that Alariza Pagani...
I think he's obviously oversold it, but I more or less meant that from a base of the way it's sort of played in Mork. That was very sort of tactical in nature. And now at the other end, victory out of corner. So, it actually looks like there was a bit of a clip there.
Ooh, wow. Can VAR pull this back? I think there's, with penalty shouts, the ball, like, it has to be like, oh, that's not a clear and obvious error, though. Like, Tequila's sort of come across Teague there and just collected a foot. And again, he wasn't challenging for the ball. So, again, it's, I don't think...
3-3 here would go, come on,
absolutely.
Victory.
I think they might get it. I think there's going to be something on the end of this corner. Like, look at the...
Pull it into existence. Oh!
Sorry.
Mate, that would have been insane if we called it.
Shout out Christian Marchetti. He spoke into the equaliser for West United into existence. Literally said the exact same things. I think they might get it here. Goes in, bang. It's like, Noah Bodic. Noah Bodic! And then, if you did tune in, please check out our socials. It's the funniest clip ever of me, like, breaking people's eardrums, warning to all headphone users, because It's the loudest Ibusuki you've ever heard in your life. Like, oh goodness me. As it stands,
14,131. That is one hell of a crowd
that's a
in
great
the Red
crowd.
Army.
That's full. That is like full. Like Cooper's doesn't get bigger than that. I think technically it seats 15,000, but I think like there are quite a few seats that are associated with the corporate boxes and stuff like that. I think you can fit a couple of hundred if you sold them fully out and had media personnel and stuff like that. So well and truly, allocation exhausted at Hindmarsh or Cooper Stadium, should I say. It's not an Asian Champions League match, isn't it? And a chance goes in. Ethan's able to collect that. But yeah, if you check us out on social media, you'll be able to see me absolutely ruin people's hearing for a couple of seconds there. And then me do my best impression of Spartacus from 300. So, or is that no? Sorry, that's Russell Crowe from the Gladiator.
Yeah, the one where he kicks the guy into the abyss.
No. But I say, are you not entertained? That's Gladiator, right?
Oh yeah. Sorry. You're right.
Oh, chance here maybe for Adelaide. Back heel. Oh,
300 is the one where he kicks the guy. My apologies.
Is Sparta.
They've got it. There's a flag at the home end here at Adelaide where this is Adelaide, and it's the guy from 300.
Fair enough. Good areas. There we go. We're keeping it relevant. Who's saying we're not relevant?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Adelaide United have the possession at the moment. I think I said that like a West Australian right there. Possession.
Wait, what? I missed that.
Instead of saying possession like a true East Australian, I said possession like a West Australian. Possession. You guys say it different. You realise you guys have a different accent to like Eastern Seaboard Australians, right?
Possession.
Yeah, so you say possession. We say possession. You're not picking up on it. Is that hat tight enough, brother?
Unbelievable. I'll tell you what, Jack, you need to we need to talk linguistics. That's what the show is.
Is this a fake video? Like,
you're talking about the bloody Portuguese futsal positions.
You know what? Did you say I generated? Like, what's going on here?
Do you know what I always find really interesting is just the inflection and the kind of nasally inflection on certain Portuguese words. Like if you look at the currency of Brazil and look up how to pronounce the currency of Brazil, reais. It's very, very it's interesting. And you've kind of got me on a tangent that I don't really think I can back up with my own intellect there. So, yeah. Anyway.
I think you're very smart, Matt. I'm always happy to talk. We'll do front page politics after this stream goes off air, you know?
Anyway.
It's the 85th minute. Still 3-2 here in this original rivalry. Been an absolutely brilliant game. Goals from both ends. Some really quality goals as well from both sides.
Insane.
And as it stands, Adelaide United, top of the pops in the A-League. They leapfrog Auckland on 27 points. Auckland on 26. So 1 point ahead. Auckland having already played this round. And that's a nice touch. Maybe another chance for Adelaide United. Cross goes in. Deflected. Still... Oh. And from outside...
The counter's back on this game.
This game has just been open back another. Melbourne Victory getting forward now. It's towards...
Velopalai, Nish. He's gone down too softly there. You've got to be more resolute in that position.
You've got to be stronger.
You've got a chance to kind of put the pressure back on the defender that's getting the clearance away. And he's gone down on his feet. I understand why you do it. But it's costly.
Well, it is about 4.5 minutes until the regular time is up. So Melbourne Victory just sort of biding their time. They would have liked it to be now as Adelaide United have opened them up once more. 2-on-2 opportunity. Maybe 3-on-3. The cross goes in. Jack Duncan able to come out and claim that one for Melbourne Victory. And this game still open at the moment. Melbourne Victory looking a little bit lethargic trying to get forward. Adelaide United looking, I've got to say, extremely fit in these conditions. I think that's actually been, as much as like technically they've been brilliant, some really good goals and really good individual influence in this game for Adelaide United. Their fitness, like their ability to get up and back and apply pressure, and the pressing of Archie Goodwin early in the game, and now the pressing of like Ivanovic in certain areas has been really, really impressive from that side. And again, I'll go back to co-founder
It's backed up.
of
It's
FPF.
backed up the defensive work rate as well, Jack. I think has been the biggest thing. Is that not only do you have
And I've got to,
that kind of.
I've also got to say, like, Victory have had more than a week off. They look like rusty and tired as well, which is just like, again, like if you think about Melbourne Victory sides, under the lights.
Look, I think the coaching element of it. I mean, obviously, a lot of the chances that they were trying to create, as Stephen Mork is coming off, a lot of the chances that they were trying to create, I think a lot of that directness that we saw, it actually, resulted in the opening goal. To be fair, but I think a lot of that comes through the lack of structure. Is ultimately about the coaching issues and the fact that they don't have that full package together.
Well, I mean,
so they're just missing out the full kind of
now
ability to shape out and stamp their authority on a game like that. But you're also right in that they're well rested, so they shouldn't be looking so stagnant. The stagnant
especially
nature of it, I think,
this
is
part of the game where they're behind. Like, I mean, when they just won the ball there was sort of they weren't trying to get forward faster or anything like that. And maybe these substitutes might help with this, but like I'm just
Maybe
really surprised,
I think.
especially a team that has gone from playing under the likes of Popovic, and then for at least the first 6 or 7 games this season under the likes of Patrick Isnorbo, who, historically speaking, both of those coaches are extremely heavy on the physical fitness, especially during the off season. Like they always talk about their players being fit, and the players who have played for them have always talked about how regimented they are to stay fit. So again, it's really surprising, and you can look at the defensive issues. I mean, maybe they were relying very, very heavily on Jason Guerrier, and of course, Adama Traore, seasoned professional, knows how to pace himself through these games. And I'm actually seeing most of the lethargic nature come actually from the fullbacks trying to get forward. We saw Rawlins early in the second half look a little bit, worse for wear. And I got to say, Casey Boss, for all his talent he's shown off the bench, starting this match.
This is important, though. The poignant part of all that conversation is that they're on the ball, but there's a free kick.
Oh, and this is a dangerous position. They might shut me up here. But the question is, who's going to get on it? Because Zidane Machash's just gone off. Arzani's not on there anymore. Who is Casey Boss looks like he's going to get behind it. This will be interesting to watch. I think Nicholas Virgos was all over that. I don't think he's getting the nod. He is not really well known for his free kick ability. I think... Is it Boss lining that up? I'll have to get a better view of this on the telecast. 3-2, free kick in a dangerous position for Melbourne Victory. Could be the chance they need late on in this matchup. And it's Teague. Yeah, I forgot about Teague. He's not bad from a free kick opportunity here. It strikes and goes wide, deflection. It'll be a Melbourne Victory corner.
Just let the energy feel really tense right now. I feel like the less said, the better, because if something happens, Jack, we are in for an all-timer. I can't.
Well, it's Teague from the corner spot. A lot of bodies in the box to aim for. A decent-looking corner towards a back post, bumbling around. Can't quite get it away. Victory still with the ball. Scramble from Adelaide United.
In possession, but it's messy.
I thought he played for Miami. Didn't say you were Robbie on it.
No, not right now.
Not now.
I actually, I'm fixated, mate. I'm fixated.
Sorry, I've disturbed Matt Olsen's intense focus on this game as it's gone in behind. Victory with a chance here, and it's just away from Adelaide United. Out for a throw. Geordie Valadon bearing down on goal there. Arthur Dealer is trying to will his men forward, trying to get this equaliser, this crucial equaliser for Victory. Around the byline, and it's just hit the post as it's gone out for a goal kick.
I've got to be honest, Nish. Was he expecting to deflect off Cox into the goal? That was a very strange effort. But he didn't. I mean, he didn't really have anything else to do.
I think he was trying to square it up, to be honest. I think he was trying to square it up towards the back post, off a tight angle as the corner swung in for Victory. Oh, and
Oh,
Tonkin's come
Nish!
out. It's a chance. Oh my goodness, you had to bury that.
This is the time where they need to stamp this authority to help their season out. I cannot.
Well,
The aerial
I'm wearing the Jake
effort,
Peralta shirt.
it was
It
looking
does
good.
say,
A wry smile from
it
Dilly's.
does say cool about 20 times on this Jake Peralta t-shirt, and that's simply something that Nishan Veluplay wasn't in that moment. He had to keep a cool head. He had to try and get that on target, especially with Ethan Cox being down.
Burford, sorry, I've just got Burford and Jitte behind Dilly's. They're laughing. They just...
Oh, that's horrible. But still, a very tense matchup. You could cut it with a knife.
It's a hot knife through butter.
Yes.
It's your centers running the footy out.
Well, I haven't felt
And
this much
getting in-
tension since Benny Sigmund was playing for the Wellington
Oh,
Phoenix.
Bonnie Sogmund.
Oh, Bonnie
Well, I was
Sigmund.
going to say Bonnie Sogmund. But talking about Kiwi accents, I mean, that is a centre running the length of the bloody field to touchdown for a try, but he's fumbled it on the put down, and you don't know what you've just seen, and you don't know how to react, and it's a little bit.
In all
little bit
seriousness,
cringe on that.
Nishan Veluplay had to bury that.
Yeah.
That was the chance of the match, and you just don't know if Victory can fashion another one as they try to get forward. It's scrambling defense for Adelaide. They've won a throw in as Prius and Boss briefly clash on the sideline.
Oh,
Awkwardly.
is he just
Maybe
done
a
it again?
chance. Oh, and
He's
oh my goodness.
I don't know.
And it's getting a bit feisty out there.
Oh,
Veluplay
extremely fast. Yes, he is.
visibly
And
frustrated.
Veluplay up the arm.
And
Is
it's,
Ethan
and,
Cox
it's, and it's
getting
still
involved
going
now?
on here. There's a bit of a melee. Izai is still carrying on. And it's also Virgos who's got involved as well. And Bart Vrins as well getting involved there.
I just don't know about this from Nish. He's going again on these gut-busting runs down the byline. Adelaide have got 3 or 4 men on him. I just don't know what you're going for. So he sold it, but he's smiling as he's going down.
Well, that is the smile of a seasoned veteran in those sorts of situations. Having played a number of years in the Spanish First Division. And obviously almost a decade now for Adelaide United.
Senor, say.
See, senor. See. Well, the home crowd trying to will their side home here. 3-2, narrow victory.
Victory fans, a narrow victory, eh?
Well, so far, Melbourne victory might have something else in mind for this one as Jack Duncan's on the ball here. He swings it wide.
Jing Reese is not the player for that sort of thing.
And I don't think he's... I've got to say, like, Jing Reese, like, I don't think he's a bad A-League player. I don't think he's a top, like, 6, like, side A-League player. Like, I mean, he played for the Central Coast Mariners, and I thought he was useful for the Central Coast Mariners, don't get me wrong. I think they utilised him very, very well, but they utilised him differently. They got him running on the shoulder of the defender, not as deep as that chance was. And I think with both Patrick Kisnorbo and Arthur Diles now, they've brought him back deeper into a role he's not really, like, built to play. He's always built to be high up on the back of the defender, running off the last, like, shoulder. And I think that's been a reason, because he's... I got to say, like, in a victory shirt, he hasn't had the best performances, especially this season.
Ivanovic.
Can Adelaide United really put the nail in the coffin to Melbourne victory here as Yaya Dekule runs it into the corner, trying to soak up a bit of time here for his side.
Under the pressure, 40 seconds.
Maybe trying to win a foul.
He's bumping up the crowd. Victory back on the ball now.
Back on the ball. The crowd love that. Love a bit of time wasting.
It's going to tick into 30 seconds.
And it'll be at the discretion of the referee.
I need a bit of time.
Victory's going to have to get it forward quite quickly.
Adelaide, 2:30 on the ball.
No! My stream's buffering!
Don't worry. Oh, Dookley.
I swear if I miss something.
Bit of afters from Dookley. Now Jing Reese is on the run. He's got to switch the play. It's taken a deflection. I don't know if you're watching, Jack.
I'm not. I'm trying to get the stream back up. But
interference has come back out centrally. Victory need to stay on the ball. Monge, he's speeding possession. He's immediately giving it away.
Oh, and that's full
We're
time.
ticking over 96. The whistle! Adelaide! They've won the original rivalry.
Yes.
Exactly what they need to establish their dominance in the competition. Heartbreak for Melbourne Victory. Ethan Cox embraces Ethan Allegich. And don't you just love to see this for the Red Army? They are staking their claim atop the A-League ladder with Auckland FC.
I could not say it any better, Matt, but yes, it is 3-2 here. Final whistle has gone down in Cooper Stadium. A packed house in Hindmarsh in the central district of Adelaide. Again, as Matt Olsen, I'll reinstate Adelaide United atop of the A-League men's ladder. 27 points, narrowly beating out Auckland by 1 point on the ladder and narrowly beating out Melbourne Victory in this gut-busting original rivalry game. It's had everything, this matchup. It's had goals, it's had saves from both keepers, it's had a little bit of afters, a bit of melee. We've talked about biscuits. This stream has been absolutely electric, ladies and gentlemen.
This is FPF heritage, is what it is.
Oh,
Everyone's just marching to their own beat, and we're just having a fantastic time watching A-League football. But Victory's loss here is an intriguing one. They take a 5-4-4 record plus 3 goal difference. They are a game behind Sydney, but 2 points. And 2 points that, had the 3 points been claimed, would have put them in the 6 with that game in hand, which is a position you ideally are going to need to be in if you're Melbourne Victory.
Well, let's have a look at the stats here. I think it was really interesting. The stats that have been drawn up as I'm looking at it on FOTMob. Melbourne Victory having most of the possession and expected goals of 1.47 in comparison to Adelaide United coming in at 0.69. That means that they have been absolutely clinical from these areas. I will have to confirm that, but yeah, it's coming at 0.69. That's incredible. 4 shots on target, 3 goals for Adelaide. Only 1 big chance missed. A lot of accurate passes in there. I will confirm, but yeah, it is Adelaide who's... Yeah, that's a huge... I want to discuss that, Matt. Because, that is such an interesting stat to come out of this game. 0.69. That speaks to the quality of the Adelaide strike... I'll say the Adelaide Strikers, that's a BBL team, but I mean the Adelaide attacking front four.
It proves. I mean, look, they can concede all they like, and I think, to be fair, defensively they approach this game very, very well. I think if you call it, you're obviously taking a lot away from that.
Well, in saying that, and I will back this up, the expected goals for Melbourne Victory were 1.47, and they scored 2, so they were extremely clinical from their chances as well. It was actually really quite just a clinical game from both teams. You have to say that neither team did anything really wrong defensively. I mean, the own goal was unfortunate by Melbourne Victory, but they only 4 shots on target. They limited Adelaide United to 4 shots on target, only 10 shots the entire game. Adelaide only limited Melbourne Victory to 5 shots on target.
And ultimately, it's probably the like for like and the brand of game that we knew was going to deliver on paper. But it's that shift. It's the fact that they both started out really resolute, and we thought it was going to be quite a rugged game. The 2 superb finishes that we saw. I mean, the move from Fornaroli through to Teague was just insane, and that really set the tempo for a game that we just knew was going to be a bumper for us to watch. It's crazy to me that this is a team that's 7th in the league. They get the coaching formula right. They kind of get to where they need to be, and this is a team that can genuinely win the league, and they're 7th. It's saying a lot about this particular moment in time in the A-League where everyone's susceptible.
Yeah, I was going to say as well. It's maybe we've seen years where between 12th and 6th there's not much difference. We've seen those in the past, but I think that obviously the Jets, Brisbane, Perth being in the history they are in terms of the environment that clubs are currently in, it's a difficult conversation. But between 10th and about 4th or 3rd, it's extremely competitive, unbelievably. So I think the only teams that are genuine favourites heading into most matches in the A-League would be Adelaide and Auckland. I think they're the only two teams you can actually say, yeah, they're definitely the favourites here. All the rest, right down to about ninth, they're all vying for the same position on the table. And again, like, people turn their nose down at the A-League for how, it doesn't have promotion relegation, but this is where the excitement is, between the ninth position and third position being so competitive, where any team from those positions mathematically still and also based on quality alone can make the top six. And this is an example of that, where a Melbourne Victory side that's now outside of the top six, right? And I'll get the standings up now if I can on FOTMob. Bear with me, but like,
it's also, I think, just a testament to what the finals can be able to do. I mean, I would love to see this gaggle of teams. I mean, imagine an elimination final between Sydney and Melbourne Victory. Not only has that been a really, really rare occurrence over the years, but in the state both clubs are in, with their history, with the rivalry, that would just be unmatched. And I think that this is a kind reminder of the finals, where we're only in January, but to be having this conversation about what it's cooking up and the stature of the league and the way these teams are playing and where their qualities lie, it's just such an exciting takeaway from a game like this, where we've seen Victory, Victory lost on the night. And I mean, they're a team that I just above and beyond. Like, they have quality, and they have enough quality to be the best in the league. It's positive.
No, I think that there will be questions about, the Victory defense and the coaching style of Diaz. Of course, he's only an interim coach.
And ultimately, that also, I think, attackingly is the issue, right? You don't have the full length of that structure to be able to put in a team that can be well-rounded in all areas of the pitch. It's ultimately why we see them be a little bit sheepish, but still putting out that really good XP that you're talking about.
Squad. And I had Melbourne Victory as a top team. I had them as my premiership winners, and they've proven me wrong. I had Adelaide United around about 8th or 9th, like outside of the top six, like meandering sort of there. But like the way that Viet is currently using the players at his disposal, and I think that just the incredible form of Stefan Mork, Archie Goodwin, and I have to say, Ben Falami probably hasn't contributed as many goals and assists that he's liked, and I think his early season form was quite patchy, but the way he settled into this Adelaide structure, we saw him on a number of occasions in that first half, getting behind, getting some really good areas, and open up the game for Adelaide United, have a few shots on target. And against a quality side like Melbourne Victory, that's nothing to turn your nose about. But I'm going to give a player of the match. I thought Ethan Alagich was absolutely exceptional. Up and down, box to box, he was always there. He basically took Santos and Arzani, when they tried to switch the sides in the second half, out of the game. Like in terms of being able to run onto the ball, the way he's able to cover for the likes of Ryan Kiddo, who again is older, physically probably not there to match up against some really good wingers in the A-League, was exceptional, and he got the goal that delivered the win for Adelaide United. So you got to tip your hat to him. Of course, the son of a former National League player in the past, of course, at Adelaide as well. So it's in the family heritage there. So. Ethan Alagich, definitely, if he wasn't one to watch already, he's certainly a one to watch now. What do you think, Matt? Do you want to give any indications of your player of the match?
Yeah, look, I think from a Victory piece, I'd actually, just in a contrast to, I think Ryan Teague's ability to show his leadership qualities, a lot of the ball movement that he had, I think whenever Victory had this half chance that they were going to create on the counter, his ability to get forward for the goal that he put away as well. Just a totally, total, what am I trying to say? A complete performance from Ryan Teague on a losing night. And I think it's just those areas where if they're putting a full pitch together, both, at the back, and, going forward with their chances, ultimately the anchor in the middle is where they have the most stability, and it's through the likes of guys like Machash as well, who are setting up a lot of these chances, but particularly Ryan Teague as well, I think is someone that we really have a lot of excitement for in Australian football, rightly so, and who I'd be really, really keen to see kick on and be a big part in a team that we hope kind of springs forward, for the rest of this season. I don't know. I am curious though with Artadilis if he's going to play out essentially the rest of the season as the senior manager, whether that's confirmed or not. because that's where I would hold back on a bit of concern. But what I've seen from Victory tonight, I'm actually very, very. I have a lot of promise there for them to be able to kick on. They've just got those tweaks
Well,
throughout the
again,
usability of their talent that is a coaching problem.
This regional rivalry rolls straight into a big blue between Sydney FC, and given where both teams are on the table, it's an opportunity and really quite a valuable opportunity for Melbourne Victory to come up against a Sydney FC team that's just come off the back of a loss to Brisbane Roar, which must be at home, must be just like terrible for your confidence to really take advantage. And I believe this one's at home as well, so it's gonna have it's gonna be full advantage to Melbourne Victory. And whether Diles can organise his side well enough and motivate his side to take that opportunity and really run with it to make sure that they are well and truly in the six and they can start building into a more sustainable position in the top six sides in the competition and then progress on to the finals will be really, really interesting. But let's leave that there. We'll look to tomorrow's game. MacArthur are taking on Wellington Phoenix. Another interesting matchup. MacArthur have been really, really good over the last 4 weeks. Of course, they have lost, but 3 wins, 1 loss over the last month or so has been really, really impressive from MacArthur. And Mile Stajowski has got, the likes of Jed Drew, Valerie Germain, playing some exceptional football. Holman as well,
especially.
And Wellington Phoenix, they're coming off a pretty, up and down run of form. A loss, a draw, a win, a loss, a win.
A lot of absences as well. Van Hatten's gone. Mo Altay, we know, is going to a New South Wales club.
We have had a little bit of word. It looks to be, they said he was returning to family in Sydney. In terms of cap space and players leaving, I wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at one of the Western Sydney clubs. But because just saying that Sydney FC have signed the likes of Joshua Sotirio, and that could have eclipsed their cap space. So that's all speculation. No any hard evidence there, but based upon the cap space, I know that Western Sydney Wanderers had a little bit of cap space for another extra player to come in January, and I know that MacArthur certainly have a little bit of cap space with the young players that involved in the squad. The likes of Walter Scott.
It's very North American baseball where a team does a road trip and then they take one of the players. MacArthur
it would be interesting to see. And it is at home at Campbelltown, so we'll have to keep our eyes glued to that telecast to see if Muhammad Altay, the man who, of course, has the honours of starting the front page football obsession with Pitbull all those months ago. See if he ends up there. But looking at this one, I think MacArthur. I think that MacArthur, their ideal matchup is a team like Wellington Phoenix, because Wellington Phoenix do like to spread the ball into wide areas. MacArthur keep quite narrow and then expand through their fullbacks out to the wings.
Through a lot of pace as well.
Yeah, and a lot of speed. At a great deal of pace, and the likes of Valerie Germain, who's just like a fox in the box, is always there to finish off an opportunity. I mean, we saw it against the Newcastle Jets, where the Newcastle Jets actually played quite similar to the Wellington Phoenix, just not at the quality and not at the pace that Wellington Phoenix are able to capitalise on things. So I think that it's going to be a pretty nonchalant 2-0 for MacArthur. I don't think they'll even concede a goal. I think that Philip Curto will have an absolute, I think he's going to have a game of games. I think that, against one of his, older clubs that he's played for in the past, he always shows up for those, those occasions, and I think that's going to be a 2-0.
Yeah, look, I'm concerned about really where Chichu Bolt goes from the slew of losses and the way that the season's kind of panned out. But I don't really harbour any ambition beyond saying that they're the sort of team that you can kind of casually sweep aside, because I just think that there's enough structure there and enough experience and the ability to never really write a team like that off. Even with their counter-attacking style, they'll always be in the fight. So, I can totally understand the authority on that one, but I think it's actually looks like quite a juicy contest.
Yeah, it'll be exciting. So, I think that's where we'll leave it. Full time, 3-2, an absolute ripper of a match between the Adelaide United Melbourne Victory. Adelaide United walking away with all 3 points narrowly, thanks to an Ethan Alagic goal in the second half. Goals also shared between, oh my goodness, drawing a blank. Stephen Mork and, of course, Roderick Miranda own goal. Victory goal scorers were, of course, Santos in the second half to equalise things, and at the first, Ryan Teague snapping one home there for victory. So, Matt, thank you so much for joining us. It's been an interesting episode of FPF TV, to say the least.
Can I just say something? And I want to put this on air before we finish. Next Saturday, Jack, Newcastle hosting Perth. So if you're not going up for the game, and I don't know what your personal circumstances are like that in that regard, I genuinely could not think of a better use of a couple of hours of my day than to be here watching Newcastle versus Perth with yours truly. So if we can make it happen.
Spoon ball, baby. Woo!
Not spoon ball, because Brisbane Roar exists under Ruben Zakovic.
Brisbane Roar just beat Sydney FC because we could be more shit. It could actually be true that we are more shit. Like, we don't know yet. It could be the spoon bowl. They only get to play each other twice. All right? Let's not write anything off here. I have no idea what game we're covering next week. I have no idea my personal circumstances, but considering the plug and considering the enthusiasm that my good friend Matt Olsen has got me, and considering how entertaining frustrated Boomer Tui is when he watches Newcastle play, and how frustrating Boomer Matt Olsen is when he watches Perth Glory play, it actually might be a shout. So, yeah, fuck it. Let's lock it in right here, right now, FPF TV. We're going to be taking on the Newcastle Jets vs Perth Glory. An absolute smashing matchup, to say the very least. It's going to be entertaining. But until then, I've been Jack Twohill. That's Matt Olsen. And we'll see you next week on FPF TV. Thank you so much.